What is up, everybody? It is Wednesday. Man, I didn't write any of this down.
Boo!
Episode 59. This is Frameloss. It's Wednesday the 17th. The day after all the E3 press conferences. E3 press conferences are done. They're in the bag. We have a lot to talk about tonight. Let me introduce the people who make this show possible. I'm your host, 2 Inches. With me, the man who watched a lot of E3 as well, from CJ. Say hello.
What is up, everybody? My name is From CJ, and starting now, we are officially Oculus Rift compatible as long as you have 3 eyes.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Because there's 3 boxes.
Next to me on the other side, that way, is Dr. Monkey. Say hello.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, let's just get right into it. What have you been playing since the last show, Dr. Monkey? Take it away.
I thought we were skipping this. Well,
We're going through it.
I've been playing basically League of Legends and Smash Brothers have been the only things I've played since. That's about it.
Yeah. CJ.
I've been playing some Dota 2, and then I immediately got rid of it after 2 matches because that is too much. It's too much. Too many muches. Immediately went back to League of Legends. Also been playing Lego The Hobbit in preparation for Lego Jurassic Park, which I've also played. I did a little bit of sampling with some free-to-play games. Still super into Marvel Heroes. I also downloaded DCU Online again for the 80th time.
Oh my god. You're just making poor life decisions.
8 characters, and you just keep... That's the only thing I do, really. I played the first 7 levels just over and over. It's the only part of the game I know.
You see what I'm doing right now? You can't see what I'm doing.
I don't.
I'm drinking right now
seconds.
because
you're disappointed.
I'm already disappointed.
Perfect. And I also... Yeah, after my games, Donnie. I also downloaded Neverwinter on the Xbox One.
Why?
Just to give it a shot. So I downloaded it on the computer a while ago, and I was not super into it. And someone at work mentioned it, was like, "Oh, it's fun," and I was like, "I didn't like it." And they were like, "Well, I think it's fun. You're an idiot." Blah blah blah. So I was like, "Well, I'll try it again. Maybe I'm a jerk. Maybe it's better on the Xbox One. I don't know. I mean, it's exactly what I remember. There's nothing explicitly bad about it, but I have a bunch of games I paid for, so I gotta play those. Sorry. And real quick before we go to TI, because I'm sure I'm gonna need to use this rule as well. Just like the E3 press conferences tonight, we are going to be in the bag. We all have a drink. During the show, we are going to take a drink every time we are disappointed. There's a ton of news to go over, so every time the news is disappointing, we're going to take a drink.
Yeah.
T.I., what have you been playing?
I've pretty much only been playing Lego Jurassic World, and I played a couple more games of HOTS. That's really it. A lot of Lego Jurassic World this week.
I played HOTS and Hearthstone too. I forget those count as games.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I got.
Easy week. We've been doing a ton of E3 stuff is the issue.
Yeah. I'm so glad the press conferences are over. Guys,
I forgot to call this show our E3 cap.
I have 8...
Oh, yeah.
I have 8 pages of just notes from every press conference. It's been a ride. So I'm ready to just talk about it. But real quick, take us into the releases of the week, and then we have one news article for you guys, and then we're going to do E3.
So this week there's only one release worth talking about, really. It's Batman Arkham Knight. That's coming to you on the PC, the PS4, the Xbox One. Is that on last gen also, I think, right? No. It's next gen only.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's PC, PS4, Xbox One, and those are the only next gen consoles. So those are the only ones it'll be on. Wii U is not included.
Yeah.
Yep.
And with that, let's just jump real quick into news of the week. So Batman comes out next week, comes out Tuesday. That's important for this news article because announced today, the Batman
6 days before release.
The Batman Collector's Edition that you see on the screen right now has been canceled.
Wow.
So if you bought the $200 Batmobile edition of Batman for next week, you should have an email about now saying that you will be refunded your order and that you can get any of the other editions if you can find them, which they're all sold out except for the regular edition. So if you're a diehard superfan Batman, you're shit out of luck.
You're a super Bat fan.
Yeah. So the reason it was canceled was because of the statue in the collector's edition.
The Batmobile statue.
The Batmobile statue made by Triforce Marvel saw
DC.
No, Warner saw the statues off the production line. They did not meet their quality assurance level, so they pulled them and they said, "We're done. Like, we're not releasing that."
Oh,
So
dang.
blame Triforce. Go there, spew all your hate and anger.
I want to see one of the ones that was like deemed not good enough before I yell at Triforce.
I mean, Warner's probably taking a big hit on that, so I don't think they would just be like, "Ugh."
I'm just saying. I want to see the bad statue before I lash out.
It'll
Okay.
look like the Sonic
As a
recreations.
responsible journalist.
With
It's my
that,
duty.
with that news came the news of the Halo Collector's Edition. Finally, the contents have been revealed. And as you can see on the screen right now, they have a big giant statue with Master Chief and another character, also made by Triforce. So let's see if this one makes it through to the end. Be wary about pre-ordering this one.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this one's coming out. I think if there's one thing we can say about Halo at this point, it's that they'll release anything. So
Yeah. It also comes with a little metal figure that's kind of neat looking. What's important to take a look at right here is I circled it for everybody. Over here, there is a
there's
digital
an
download.
RP notice.
No,
for
there's a
rating-
digital download voucher for the game. So you don't actually get the disc from what this says. You just get a code to download the game.
No, no. You have to get you get a steelbook. Why would you not get the game?
Well, you spoiled my next image. Why the fuck do you get a steelbook if you get a digital copy of the game? They're not going to give you both. They're not going to give you a digital copy to give to a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you get a steelbook case if you don't get a game? Why does that exist?
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, you got nothing.
I mean, I don't know the
You open the
answer.
steelbook and it's the voucher code.
The answer is you get the game, but I don't know why there's a digital game download with it.
Yeah, nobody knows. But you don't get the actual disc from what I can tell.
Maybe you do.
So they're giving you a free copy of the game. They're giving you 2 copies of the game.
To apologize for.
I don't
the
believe that
Chief
Microsoft is doing that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't either. It doesn't make sense no matter how you spin it.
Yeah. So that's our news for the week. Let's jump right into E3 because we have a lot to talk about. Kicking things off, I'll start things off. Bethesda was the first one on Sunday night. They had a nice little late night stream, nice little personal get together.
Oh man! Oh no! Sorry. Shit! Oh my God! I just wanted to. I didn't even put together that metal model. That it comes with is not pre-built. I want everyone.
Yeah,
to know.
no, it's a kit. They're actually releasing a ton of those, and they actually look pretty cool.
Here's a funny thing actually. I have a drum set right here. I don't know if you guys can see. Is that showing up correctly?
Yeah.
Same company.
How do you like it?
Anyone that's buying one of these should invest in needle nose pliers, some Adderall, a lot of patience, because they are a bitch.
So GameStop actually is like they have a ton of these coming out on their website, of video game related models, and a needle nose plier and like model kit to make them.
You basically, it's not an option. It's required.
Yeah.
This drum set looks like it fell off of the stage because of how.
Do you like the quality of it though?
Yeah, I mean it was enjoyable to put together and like do. It was a fun it took me like maybe like an hour, 3 hours across 3 days, like on and off of doing it.
Okay,
it was fun.
That's all that matters.
The quality, I mean, it's like aluminum, so
yeah.
It's gonna be squishy and you're gonna make it out of shape. But I just wanted to let everyone know if they saw that it's a model. It's not like something you get and it's
yeah.
So
okay, so let's go Bethesda. They started things off. This was their first time ever being at E3. So what do? They kick it off with a sappy "We're ready for E3" montage. And as much as I don't like these, they get that one pass because this is their first year. They can be excited to be there. I'll give them that. They're allowed to have the sappy "We're happy to be here finally" montage. They get one pass next year. I don't want to see that bullshit. Next, they opened with Doom. So Doom was the first game they showed. I thought the game looked really pretty, graphic-wise. Like, that game just... The amount of gibs that are just flying off enemies is unreal. The game looks crazy fast. Lots of, like...
a gib?
It got, like, parts of people.
Okay.
Or gibs.
Okay, just a body part.
Oh yeah, why don't you say guts?
Because they're called gibs in gaming.
Are they?
Learn...
I don't...
Children.
Is that actually giblets?
Children.
Gotta...
So there's lots of like finish 'em like melee looking kills where so how it works is like you'll shoot enemies with bullets and they'll go into like a staggered state and they turn like this like bluish color, like you can tell when they're staggered. That's a trigger to you to run up and just do like a one hit kill where you like rip their arm off and like one of them they literally took the guy's foot and shoved it in his face.
Nice.
Very brutal. The game's super fast. It's meant to be played with forward momentum. There's no, like, if you take too much damage, you can hide behind cover and heal yourself. You can't do that. You have to get more kills to earn those health packs back. So the game is just full forward momentum. How do you feel about Doom, CJ?
Pass. I've never really cared about Doom. I didn't have a
That's
computer
fair.
to get into it when I was a kid, and then by the time I did have a computer, it was like, yeah, I mean, it's an FPS. It's the same thing with Final Fantasy VII. When it was big, I was not a part of it at all, and then by the time I was able to take part, I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess it's cool for 1998.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
I'm pretty much the same. I played more Quake 3 than Doom.
Well, Donnie, I'm okay with that. If you played more Quake than Doom, that's A+. What they also announced, which I was not expecting, was Doom Snap. So Doom Snap is a custom community game creation tool that's basically Legos for creating just games inside of Doom. Like you can create horde mode style games, you can create co-op games, single player experiences, multiplayer experiences. Like basically like what StarCraft has with their like arcade, where you can just create games inside a game.
Yeah.
That's what Doom has with this. So essentially, someone could make Quake 3 inside of Doom,
Cool.
which I'm really
Cool.
excited about. So that's what's got me really hot for this game. I don't like Bethesda, but I'm willing to give them a chance on this title. I think it looks like it could be a lot of fun. Hopefully, it all works.
Can that be like the slogan for like next time on Frameloss? Have you seen the new Doom? I can make Quake.
Yep. So that's spring next year, so that will not be this year. And no word on the beta yet, which they promised to fans when they bought Wolfenstein last year.
Look,
Sure.
promise is a strong word.
I mean, it said you got it when you bought the game.
You know,
So,
it didn't
You know.
say promise.
It
Okay.
said you get it. They didn't say
Yeah.
when.
yeah,
They didn't
no,
say,
you
didn't
are,
say
you
we
are
promise. They didn't say we promise that you'll get this.
Right. Yeah.
Said you'll get this, as in you'll buy this game eventually.
yeah. Everyone that buys this will buy that. You promised, Kyle. You made the promise.
Yeah, I did. Next, they showed Bethesda Net, which goes along with the Doom Snap. Bethesda Net is basically BattleNet for Bethesda games, is what it looked
Bethesda.
like. They said there's going to have more info coming. They didn't actually show.
You're
a lot
truly
for that.
disappointed. You can think it's lame, but like I don't know if that counts as disappointment.
What am I gonna do with it?
Play.
Wait
that?
for Nintendo.
No, not with the beer. With with Bethnet.
I do like
Be
BethNet.
looking
Oh
forward to
man,
something to have it disappoint.
I like BethNet. Okay, I'm hype on BethNet. Battlecry. Are like either of you interested in Battlecry at all?
I don't know
No.
much about it. I missed a lot of the Bethesda stuff and only know the things through your notes and what I could piece together from the internet.
So,
Just not interested.
yeah, but like it looks like it wants to be really fun, but I haven't seen enough of it to be like, yeah.
What
could
is
be
it? Is
fun.
it an MMO?
No, it's like a faction based, like team deathmatch
Okay.
kind
Like,
of like melee game.
Interesting.
It's like
Melee.
if Mag wasn't about shooting people.
Yeah.
I don't know Mag.
They showed
Mag for the PS3 for anyone who doesn't know.
They showed
That
multiple
counts.
classes for it. They showed the new faction, the Han Republic. Like it looks like visually it looks good, but like I still don't know enough about the game to really like warrant like caring about it. And that's coming this year. I didn't get a date on that one.
I like factions. So they have piqued my interest.
I like
people that
factions.
disagree. That
So
gets
you
me.
have factions.
Go
I
on.
might look at you. Hey, that's what got me back into Magic the Gathering. It's like, have you heard of the guilds? I was like, ooh, factions.
Groups of people with similar ideals.
I like it.
Following up on that, they showed they unveiled Dishonored 2, which everyone expected to be shown, but like
Yep.
they came out and they showed it. Female protagonist this time. Her name
Yep.
is Emily Caldwin.
She will be alongside Corvo, so Corvo from the first one still will be in it.
Okay.
In case
all,
people were wondering.
all they showed was a cinematic trailer. We got no gameplay.
Yeah.
She had some cool smoke monster powers. PC, Xbox One, PS4. No information past that. Like no date or anything.
The cinematics looked really pretty, but
Yeah,
again,
I mean, yeah,
besides that, yeah.
Yeah, besides that, we don't know much. And before they left the stage, they also announced the Dishonored Definitive Edition, which you can't have a game without a Definitive Edition nowadays.
Yep.
That's going to include all the DLC. That comes out this fall on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Will either of you be buying the Definitive Edition?
No. I already have it on Steam to not play. I don't need another copy of it to not play.
Yeah, I already have it on Xbox to not play. So.
Okay.
Not that I don't want to play it. I don't play the games I have bought and do want to play. So
Yeah, that's fair. Next, they showed ESO. They showed a new, like, Ornisium, Realm of the Orcs.
yeah,
They didn't show a lot on it. They just showed like a sample trailer since the game like just came out on the consoles. So not a lot of new information on that.
Yawn.
Then they showed Elder Scrolls Legends, which actually got me really excited, and then they showed me nothing. So what Elder Scrolls Legend is a strategy card game based around the Elder Scrolls series, which I don't like that series, but I do like strategy card games, so I would give this a shot. It's free to play. It's on PC and iPad, which I'm glad it's coming to PC because I don't have a tablet. And then more details to come in the following months. And then they showed us a trailer for the game, but we didn't see a single card. We didn't see what the board looked like. All we saw was like lore.
yeah. Like, I don't have an issue with cinematic trailers for the most part. But if your game is a strategy card game, that's one trailer that I have to argue. Like, you should show gameplay. Like, cinematics aren't gonna be what hook people. They're not gonna be like, oh man.
See,
Like, all the cinematics you show me for Magic the Gathering Online, like, really made me interested in the story. But no, I just want the
so
cards.
I'm obviously not a fan of cinematic trailers, but this is basically a lose-lose because you can't show gameplay because that's boring as F.
It is boring.
But then I would
Like,
know how
here's
the game...
gameplay. Tap.
No. But
Forward.
But then I would
Oh.
know how the game plays. Like
You would,
does
but
it-
you would just see random card movements.
On a counter.
Like it would.
Hearthstone, when they did the Hearthstone reveal trailer, it was a nice mix of developers talking about what they were trying to do, showing actual gameplay, showing cinematics. It was a nice mix that was, you were like interested, like, oh man, this is cool, I'm talking about it. So I say a mix of gameplay and developers speaking about it, especially if it's for a press release, because it's not just for fans, it's for the press to be like, oh, I care. Showing a cinematic about lore, yeah, like...
Tell me, they didn't tell me
I know
anything
they have
about
lore,
how
it's
it
Elder
plays.
Scrolls.
Like, I don't know how the game plays or anything.
Yeah.
I just know that it has cards in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is coming. I don't think they have all that stuff. Like, I don't think they
Oh,
have
yeah.
real for that ready. I don't think this was meant to be that.
Well, I'm taking a drink.
That's fair.
Can't really be disappointed because didn't care enough.
Yeah. Next was the last thing they showed, but they spent a long time on it, and they should have, was
yeah.
Fallout 4. So they start off with a concept art montage, which, to be honest, if Fallout came out with a a coffee table sized art book, like a nice hardcover coffee table book for the art, the concept art is beautiful. Like I'll give it to him. The concept art was great. That was probably my favorite part about the conference for Fallout 4, at least. Game starts before the bombs drop, so you play before all the shit hits the fan.
So you play way in the past of the future.
But,
Most Fallout games take place years way
well, so this one...
I like that sentence, Donnie. You play way in the past from the future.
Yeah.
But let's slow down. We'll get to what you're gonna say, CJ, because I understand exactly where you're coming from. I know what you're gonna say next. But let's get to character. So they showed off character creation next. There's no character sliders. What it is there's two characters looking in the mirror, and you can move the mouse and highlight their nose, and then options come up and you can adjust them by pulling and moving the mouse. It would look like. You can play as a female.
Nice.
So they did confirm that's still a thing in the game. Also, thousands of popular names are programmed in the game, so NPCs can use those depending on what you name your character.
I really like that that's a feature.
A lot of people.
Yeah, well,
a lot of people have been so excited about that, and I don't disagree, but they won't have Donnie. I bet you.
a lot of games don't do it, and it's good when games do it. Like when MLB The Show has like you see those lists of just names that they can call you.
Yeah. No, I think it's cool. Well, first of all, I would say that's a little different than this. But second of all, I think it's cool. The fact that it's like a feature is maybe a little much.
Well, it's a feature because no other game does it. Once every game does it, it's no longer a feature.
Yeah.
So getting to what CJ was about to say when Donnie was talking about how far back it is.
Oh, I didn't read far enough down.
You emerge after you create your character and everything, and you play around in your little story, and everything's happy, and then the bombs go off. You emerge from the vault as a sole survivor 200 years later. How did you survive? We don't know.
I have an answer for that.
Oh, you do have an answer for that.
I don't know if this is official or not, but what I read was that you are cryogenically frozen, and then that something happens to unthaw you, basically 200 years later.
That makes more sense than my theory, which was
that
you drink the blood of the other survivors to stay young forever.
Yeah,
and that's why you're the sole survivor.
That works.
Yeah, I mean, it could go either way with this. Really.
Yeah. So then they showed your character like walking around in the world. The world looks really good. They showed the dog. You can give the dog commands. He's your buddy. You can have him fetch things. Like you can point at things with your cursor and be like, "Go get that," and like the dog will run. What do you got, Donnie?
Fun fact about the dog that one of the creators put on like Twitter today or yesterday, like recently after showing all stuff. Dog cannot be killed. So anyone who loves their dog companion and heart would break, dog cannot die.
I'm slightly disappointed in that, but not enough to drink.
Yeah.
But I'm slightly...
I'll drink. That's
okay. You can drink for it.
Dude, I don't want my dog to die. Why do you?
But
I don't want my dog to die, but that's part of the game. That's part of life.
I don't want this like security of being like, well, I got like Invincid-Dog over here. Like,
my dog can just go in and fight everyone. I'll chill.
He'll probably not do well though. It's probably gonna be like how they do it in like I'm guessing Skyrim or stuff, where they can be beaten and they'll just lay down, and once the fight's over, they just stand right back up.
Yeah.
Like they'll still have health, they just can't perma die.
VATS is still in the game, which they announced this like, and I was reading on the internet, a lot of people were questioning if it was still going to be in the game. I was like,
why would they question that?
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, so VATS is still there for all you people who didn't think it was going to be in there. There's a new Pip-Boy in the game. Everything's like animated. The Pip-Boy actually looks really cool.
Oh yeah, it looks snazzy.
They have a layered armor system, which I think is awesome. I think all games should have layered armor. I should be able to put like a long shirt underneath my t-shirt, and then I'll just be looking fresh to death. And there's also playable games on the Pip-Boy. Like there's a version of Donkey Kong called like the Red Menace.
I've seen a few of those. They look really fun.
So as they're talking about the Pip-Boy, then they also talk about the Collector's Edition. The Pip-Boy that comes in the Collector's Edition, you can attach it to your arm like a real Pip-Boy. You can put your phone in it. There's an app that actually works in-game. They were really excited about talking about this, and they said that they've seen out-of-game like second screen devices before, and they all sucked. And they this was a quote from them. This is the best fucking one like we've ever seen. So that's cool. It's pretty much sold out everywhere, so if you haven't got it by now and you're just tuning in now, then you probably are going to have a hard time finding one. Then the big thing that I didn't actually expect to happen was they showed something that looked actually really interesting to me, but not enough to get me to buy the game. Now they made collection actually matter in the game, and so in the game there's multiple areas where there's just like empty like plots of land. And now you can build your own shelters. Like, you can build houses, you can build traps, generators, lights, like gardening areas to grow food. You can create multiple plots and have, like, brawn caravans, like, bringing supplies back and forth from different settlements that, like, you have different stuff going on at. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm glad they are making collection worth it.
Yeah.
Collectioning.
Because that was one thing that always disappointed me about Fallout 3 in New Vegas. Like, so many items you can pick up that you'll never have any reason to.
So really quickly, they have 50 base weapons with over 700 mods. I thought the weapon crafting system looked really good. There's a lot you can do with it. And then you can modify your own power armor, which is something people have wanted to do for a while. Yeah. So that's good. The game comes out November 10th this year, so everybody get excited about that.
That is a quick release.
Yeah, it's soon. Let's move on. So that was Bethesda.
Now for the good stuff.
CJ, do you want to take the lead on Microsoft?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
So, Microsoft hit everyone up with a game montage right away out the bat. Everybody loves video games. Games are the best. Woo, video games.
Go games.
Come up on stage and they immediately go right into Halo 5. It looks amazing. It looks huge, epic. Nathan Fillion is back. He's doing the voiceover for this.
And the character model is him, so he's back.
So he's
for Chief?
Oh,
no. For the guy from what was he? ODST.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's back in full force.
Cool.
They showed a bunch of the single player gameplay. It looks really pretty. It looks like Halo on the Xbox One. Like, it looks exactly what you want out of it. It's super cinematic, super gorgeous.
Yeah, it looked like they went like full cinematic on this one.
Yeah, I thought it was a cinematic trailer at first.
Wow.
And then they proved me wrong. So they did show this new alien gun. It was like a plasma cutter, or like
I think that's what it was named, but I could be wrong.
Secondary fire was like a sticky grenade. You shoot, lands, and sticks. Maybe there will be space battels.
In the ending trailer, they showed like it looked like there was space battles.
They showed like it could be a cutscene or it could be playable. We don't really know.
Yeah.
Also, they showed the multiplayer, which was it's up to 24 players in a multiplayer. You can substitute AI bots in.
No, not substitute, with AI bots. So like it's a big war zone. There's AI bots with multiplayer. Like so 24 players.
24 players and bots.
And bots.
Gotcha. Okay, I misunderstood that.
Yeah, it really looks like a Battlefield type game mode where there's like big mechs walking around. There's ships
it looked
that you
crazy.
Can fly. Points to take. Like it actually looked really interesting.
It looks like they probably saw like Titanfall and were like, I want some of that. I want a little bit of that in here, which is totally fine with me. After Halo, they moved on to Recore, which is a game that's a totally new IP. So I'm sure tons of people just instantly dampened themselves. Yep. It's from the maker of Metroid Prime.
That's the thing that dampens me.
Yeah, has this weird robot dog, some cute girl with like a gun, pew pew. And you can you move your robot like to other robots by like they have these tummy orbs.
Yeah, they got like blue tummy orbs. So think of iRobot.
Talking about it, I'm like, wow, this sounds terrible.
Blue tummy orbs are good.
But it looks really cool.
But if the tummy orb turns red, watch out. Yeah. That's bad tummy.
You're in big trouble.
Yeah.
It looks so rad, though.
It looks really good. But...
Explaining it like this definitely doesn't do it justice.
So all they showed was a cinematic trailer. So all we have to go on is blue tummy orbs good, red tummy orbs bad. But you can take blue tummy orbs out of your robot and put it into the tummy of another robot.
So think of it like Transformers, how they have a spark, and then that spark can go into different bodies.
Yeah.
They say that, so it's basically a Transformers ripoff.
Yeah,
100%.
No. It's all about blue and red tummies.
You heard it here, Frameloss.
That game was kind of far away. It's spring 2016, so we're basically a full year away from it. We'll hear more probably this fall. Yep. I wouldn't expect much.
Definitely, probably at Gamescom. We'll hear more.
Then, boom, bombshell. Whole place exploded. Xbox 360 backwards compatibility for the Xbox One. Natively running the game. You put the disc in. You download a copy of the game. The game has been so there's only a few titles announced. There's going to be 100+ games by holiday, which is that's still 6 months away. But how it works is you put your disc in. Download a copy of the game. The game has been recompiled from the source code to run on the Xbox One. So it's basically a new game. It's not really a new game, but it's not emulation. They're not emulating the games. You're going to be playing the game on your Xbox One. You're going to be able to play with people that are on the 360. All the Xbox One features will work with the 360 games. I'm almost positive what they are really specifically talking about is the ability to go out of the game, do stuff, go back into the game without restarting.
Yeah, I think so.
Everything else is peaches, but that's the best news. They did mention that they will not charge you to play games you already own. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Sony.
Yep. I did take a drink during this whole announcement, by the way.
I have no possible reason why you'd be like, more games?
Yeah, why is this disappointing?
So the list of games that'll be available when the service launches is upsettingly bad. Well, not even small. There's not really any good titles on that list.
Yeah, but I mean, that's more than we had the day before.
Yeah, I agree. But the only game I care about is not on that list, and I will drink every day until Halo Wars is playable on my Xbox One.
I hope it never happens.
It will never.
You never get that.
It's in the image. If you look on the site, that's in the image. Halo Wars is in the back. You can see the W.
It's coming.
But I want it now, Donnie.
I hope it never happens. I hope they get the Xbox 2 before it happens.
Isn't JG Wentworth? You don't get your money right now. Like,
yeah, Kyle.
It has also been confirmed that DLC will work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything is gonna, like, all the good stuff is gonna work. It's crazy. What they've done is insane as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I really don't understand.
And that's why the stadium kind of like lost it.
So the only question I have really at this point is, so I have a Marvel Ultimate Alliance. The DLC for that game actually is not like available anymore to purchase. You can only download it if you already bought it.
Yeah.
Am I going to be able to download that? I want to say no.
I want to say no too.
Because if they can't recompile it, then I don't see how it could work. So that's a little disappointing. Because now I'll have to shell out like $1 billion to get the gold edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone, to give them like a break from that, people are like throwing up in the aisles and killing themselves, going nuts.
They were eating each other, literally.
Yep. They debuted a new Xbox controller, the Xbox Elite controller. It has it's made for the
most hardcore of hardcore.
The discerning gamer. It's more sensitive. It has more more features. You can take it apart and put new things onto it and make it exactly to your liking. Triggers are on the back and on the top, and on the. That's it.
There's
Those
buttons
are
everywhere.
There's no buttons. It's all triggers.
It's insane. It's insane. I'm really into it, except for the fact that it's $150,
which they conveniently left out of the announcement when they first showed it.
That's.
Yeah. I don't speak French, but hello, Romaldu68.
Hello, Ronaldo.
I was excited. Well, actually, I don't know why I'm excited. I don't play Xbox One, but for that price point, I'll fake drink.
Yeah, I thought it was cool, but that's $10 less than Rock Band 4 and a guitar.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Like I wasn't gonna ever really get it, but the whole concept of it was really cool to me, and it's like 150. It's like
same, yeah.
And like people were pointing out, like if you buy it for the Xbox One, you also get the double advantage of being able to use it on the PC. But if I'm buying a controller for that kind of precision, if I'm plugging it into my PC, why don't I just use the mouse and keyboard at that point?
Because you have very tiny T-Rex hands.
Okay. Well, then I can't hold the controller.
No, you can because they're close. You can't do the mouse because it's like this, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, what if he got one of
your hands are coming out of your nips?
What if he got one of those like shoulder straps that puts the keyboard like right on your like stomach?
Yeah, I mean, no, because then you can't get the mouse.
Kyle, to understand this, you have to open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. I don't know what's so hard about this. Come on.
They moved on. You know, they didn't have too much to say about it because it was not very exciting. They announced Fallout 4 stuff. They announced that mods created on the PC will work on the Xbox One for Fallout 4.
That's big news.
They recapped a bunch of other stuff. They showed some videos of like pulling up people's noses and all that kind of stuff. But that was the big highlight.
That actually is big news because I don't think Xbox has allowed that I can remember. And the last game I can think of that Sony did it on the PS3 with Unreal Tournament 3.
Yeah, you have this like one random game that allowed it. For all intents and purposes, this is not a thing that has been done. Like this is, Kyle's gonna cry about it. This is basically groundbreaking.
It's groundbreaking for Microsoft. Yes, it's
groundbreaking for gaming.
No, because it's already happened.
Unreal Tournament was for PC gamers that wanted to have a console. This is a big deal.
I'm with CJ on this. Like Fallout 4 is a big mainstream thing. I'm not saying Unreal Tournament isn't.
Mods were a big reason that consoles were not getting purchases for this game, so this is a huge deal. Now, there's still rules to follow with the mods. It's not just like Wild Wild West, anything goes. James West Desperado. So
dick mods.
I don't know what the specific rules are. I don't think they've announced them, but it's still way better than we had.
You can put dicks into Fallout. Just saying.
They moved on. They announced that EA Access is only available on the Xbox One still. I don't really know why they had to announce it. It's been that way since the start. They're adding Titanfall. Later in the summer, they're going to add Dragon Age Inquisition, which I did not know it was that old.
Yeah.
I'm still playing that game.
We're getting there.
EA Access Vault is free this whole week, so you can play all those games that you didn't want to play. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 was announced. That looked like a lot of fun. It's coming out next spring. Highway to the Danger Zone was playing, everyone's favorite. Kenny Loggins.
So that not only was like their announcement for it, that's in all the trailers for the game.
Yeah. I mean, that's you're on the highway to the danger zone.
Yeah. The
Also,
game looked
you
fun.
can play as a lady flower.
I had fun playing the first one. Like, I thought it was a really good game, so I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
All flowers are lady flowers.
Yeah.
That was science.
Yeah.
Moving on from Plants vs Zombies, they popped up some Forza 6 stuff. They dropped a car. They dropped the Ford GT.
Dude, it came from space.
Yeah, they dropped it
just
right
came
down
from
in
the
front of
ceiling.
everyone. Every car game has super nice rain now. Not a complaint, just an observation. There's going to be 26 different locales. More than 26 tracks. I want to make that clear. 26 different locales.
Yeah.
So one, like Nürburgring, for example, has 5 or 6 different tracks if you count reverse as its own track. But it's one destination. Just so there will probably be close to like 50 or 60 tracks.
Yeah.
For multiplayer, you're gonna have up to 24 cars going at once, which is still less than Project Cars, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Forza is the king of detail, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm very, very excited to see how it looks, how it plays with 24 cars going at the same time. That game has been announced for September 15th. So I think on about a month ago, we announced a release date that was August.
Yeah, for that contest.
Yeah, so we weren't too far off. We
No.
did break the news like half.
Yeah, I'll claim that.
Half broke from Reddit. After Forza 6, they jumped right into the surprise Dark Souls 3 announcement. All it was like Dark Souls 3, here's a little cinematic, early 2016. That's all you need.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally all you need.
What are you going to play? Like, oh, here's a guy dying. Like, yeah.
No
cool,
one's going to show the trailer and be like, I wonder what they, like, what? Maybe I'll get it.
Yeah, no one's gonna see it and be like, like, where's the gameplay? You know the gameplay.
Yeah.
You know.
They showed some stuff from The Division. They showed this, like, cool robot turret thing. They showed a bunch of places in New York City. They announced that there will be an exclusive Xbox One beta coming this December. So get hyped for that.
When we get to Ubisoft, there's actually a date for this game now.
Yeah, which is weird. They also announced Rainbow Six Siege coming out October 2015. Oh, you guys may have seen that. It's in not early access, but it's in alpha right now on the PC.
Yeah.
You probably saw people playing it on Twitch and not having any control over the mics or anything. They announced that Gigantic, the new MOBA third-person shooter style game, is going to be on Windows 10 and the Xbox One.
With cross-platform.
Yep, cross-platform play. That's a big deal. It's probably one of the first games that really is truly embracing the cross-platform functionality on the Windows Xbox side. Sony did it with the Vita and the PS4, which was cool, but this is...
Shadowrun on the 360 did it with Windows PC.
Did it?
Yeah.
I didn't play it on the...
Yeah.
Oh, wait, which Shadowrun?
Shadowrun on the 360.
The shitty Shadowrun?
The Counter-Strike with Magic.
Okay, yeah, there's a reason I didn't know about that.
But they did do it. It was cross-platform.
Yep. They showed a bunch of indie games. Ton of indie game montage. First on Xbox. Tacoma, which is made by the team that made Gone Home. You're like trapped on a spaceship.
Yeah, that game just to me, I was just like, I don't think that game looks good at all.
Yeah, I like Gone Home.
Yeah,
I missed a lot of the.
I'll try it. They did a preview for this game, Ashen.
Had a lot of earth tones in that game.
Yep. Cuphead, which was this old time.
Oh my god, Cuphead looks so good.
Yeah, this old timey cartoon platformer. Looked pretty fun.
We could do a whole show just talking about Cuphead. Donnie, have you seen Cuphead?
I have not seen
Donnie,
Cuphead.
You gotta look up Cuphead.
Yeah, you should look up Cuphead right now.
Not right now, but...
No, he should right now.
Well, I'm gonna be done with the whole thing by the time he sees it. They announced Xbox Game Preview, which is just early access to the Xbox. Very, very disappointing. Good trick, real quick.
I'm just gonna clap. Xbox Early Access.
Very disappointing. Long Dark, Elite Dangerous, DayZ coming soon, which is the worst news. I have to drink again, actually, for that.
Oh my god, Cuphead.
Man, I don't know why I'm doing this, because I'm going to be drinking for the next 5 minutes. Dean Hall shows up.
Oh wait, can I drink for Dean Hall? Yeah.
Yep. Announces a new game.
So, okay, real quick, before you keep drinking. So, they announce Early Access. Then they bring up Dean Hall.
Bad plan.
Who has...
Bad plan.
Historically left games before they were done being in Early Access.
Terrible plan.
To be their flagship, like, here's a new game.
They brought up Dean Hall after showing DayZ coming soon.
Yeah.
Bad plan.
Also, he left halfway through talking. It was
bad plan. Hello, Thunderstorms85. How's it going? So yeah, Dean Hall came up, announced new game, Ion space game.
Not a lot of information from this press conference about Ion, but we'll know
I'll look
more
forward
later.
to playing that in 2021 if it ever comes out.
Yep.
They moved on to Tomb Raider. That game drops November 10th, 2015. They announced.
Oh, they gave a date. Okay.
Yeah, they did give a date. So they took them the whole press conference, and the whole time they just kept saying holiday 2015, holiday 2015,
which is not November. For the record.
And then the trailer at the very end, the last thing before it faded away, said November 10th, 2015.
Like it was like in there by mistake or something. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
The game looks gorgeous. Same thing as Halo, where it's like super cinematic. I couldn't really tell if it was all gameplay or like gameplay and cinema. I don't know, but that always bodes well.
We're at a point where I don't care about seeing Tomb Raider because I know I'm going to buy Tomb Raider. So like they've shown me so much that I'm just like, just get the game out. Like
So tell me how good it's gonna be. I already want it.
Rare announced that they are coming out with Rare Replay, which is a 30-game collection covering all of Rare's like titles that they consider like key titles in their history. I'm not gonna read the full list.
Drinking
but,
for this guy?
California Games is not on the collection.
Battletoads was in there. Jet Set Radio. Jet Force Gemini is in there.
Yeah.
Banjo, all the Banjo games were in there.
It's a big collection.
Viva Pinata. It's all 30 games. So the one thing that
when you say all 30 games, they have a lot more than 30 games.
Right, but it's all 30 that they consider to be their top 30. All of their top 30 are included,
except for the ones Nintendo still owns.
Well, those aren't in their top 30. So they
Donkey Kong should be in their top 5.
No. So they kind of explained how they like came up with this, and one of the big things, which is why like GoldenEye isn't in here, was the worlds. Like a Rare world that they created. So GoldenEye wouldn't have been in here. Donkey Kong wouldn't have been in here just because those were building off of like established
existing IPs.
Yeah. Which maybe that's an excuse, maybe it's not. I don't know.
Okay.
The only thing I will drink here is that all the Rare games that were included in this that were on the Xbox 360 are also curiously part of the Xbox 360.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Backwards compatibility. I saw Viva Pinata and Party Animals, and I was like, I don't know.
I'll take the next one.
So that kind of sucked.
I'll take the next one while you finish your beverage.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay.
They showed off a new title. It's got sea ships and treasure, skeletons, pirates, sharks. It's going to be a shared world, kind of like, was it platformer kind of thing? I couldn't really figure out what kind of game it was.
Yeah, so they said shared world, and that made me think Minecraft. And it's very piratey. There's like big ship battles where like you're out on the sea and like you have people on your ship controlling cannons and firing at other things.
I get the feeling it's going to be more like it's not going to be Minecraft. It's going to be maybe like excuse me, what's the name of that game? Maple Story. Where it's like you have your character, but like everyone is acting the world.
Maple Story, but fun.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
It looks like, I love the cartoony art style to it.
Yep. They also announced, they being Microsoft, not Rare, announced Fable Legends coming out this holiday on the Xbox One. It already exists everywhere else, so you may as well disappoint us on the Xbox One as well. They announced that they are a VR partner with Valve, and that the Xbox One controller will ship with the Oculus Rift, which is coming spring 2016.
That's a pretty cool announcement. I'll give them that.
I'm pretty hyped about that. I mean, it's a free. I'm going to get an Oculus Rift, so it's going to get me a free controller. Yeah. Which, as we were discussing earlier, just keep going up in price.
Yeah.
Never coming down.
Yeah.
They then Microsoft moved to show off the new HoloLens stuff they have going on, and it was bonkers. It was insane.
What they did with Minecraft just blew my mind, and then immediately I came back to reality and was like, but I wouldn't play it. Like I would just like I want HoloLens for other things, not for like
just the capabilities though.
Yeah, no, just the capabilities just were insane.
Yep. They moved on. They announced Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which is going to be Gears of War 1 remaster. It's coming out August 2015 on the Xbox One. The beta started. What was this? Monday. Monday. So it says starts today, but it was Monday. And then they went on to announce a new Gears of War game, Gears of 4. That many.
Yeah.
Is it actually called that?
No.
Okay.
Should be, but that's copyright Frameloss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lighting was awesome. The graphics look good. I mean, it's Gears of War, so if you don't have someone to play it with, you're already doing it wrong. I'm not super excited for it. I don't know about you guys. I was never super into Gears.
It's okay, Radamillion. You do what you do, man.
Yeah. Well, that was hard to read.
Yeah, it was hard to read.
Not because it was like insulting, just because it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this is the greatest game lineup in Xbox history. This is their best E3.
That is what Phil Spencer said at the end, and I was just like, really, Phil?
Yeah, he was talking to me.
This is the greatest.
That's their best showing they've ever had at E3.
It's a pretty solid showing. It's not bad.
I'd have to go back and check, but
I have them extensively cataloged and memorized. So
okay.
Trust me on that.
They did good.
Yeah, they had a good. We'll give them a clap.
Yeah, give them a clap.
Good clap.
Yep.
Good job, Microsoft.
So that was Microsoft. Next, we took a break. We waited like 4 hours, and then EA came out. EA started.
Everyone booed.
EA started off with Mass Effect Andromeda, and then Holiday 2016. So next Christmas, basically, for that. And they didn't really show us much. They showed us a cool trailer with a cool song, and that they just moved right along. They didn't even talk about it. They just like, bloop, next game. They came out. They showed Need for Speed Rivals. Not Need for Speed Rivals, just Need for Speed. Twice the size of Rivals. So that's good. Rivals was pretty big, so twice the size is bigger. It has the narrative style of Most Wanted, and what they mean by that is like the PS2 game Most Wanted, where they have like the really cheesy live-action cutscenes, like you're a street racer, you're earning you're earning cred in the world, you're trying to be just thug life. I love that.
Thug life. I'm not trying nothing.
I love that. I thought Most Wanted was the best Need for Speed they've ever made. The PS2 one.
Oh wait, I forgot to drink for live-action cutscenes.
Live-action cutscenes, I'm all on board. I don't care what the game is. Fallout could announce live-action cutscenes today. I'd be like, okay, I'm buying it.
I mean, you're already buying it anyway.
No, I'm not buying Fallout.
Pretty sure it counts if someone else buys Fallout.
No, she's not buying Fallout.
That's what you think. I'll have my way yet.
Then they showed a gameplay trailer that just looked really good. The graphics are all really pretty. The lighting's actually really good in this game. The customization, they showed the customization models of the car, and the way you select what you customize is really good. It's like little dots on the car that you like move across and just select from there instead of like just a big menu of parts that you look from. So I like that. That comes out November 3rd. Next up, Star Wars Old Republic, Knights of the Fallen Empire.
Star Wars Old Republic is right.
Yeah.
I didn't
forgot this was
when I saw that, I was like, wait, people still play the Old Republic?
Yeah, I was actually really surprised by that too, Donnie. So this is
nothing against it. I've seen it. It's fun, but it's kind of old, I thought.
So this was an expansion for the MMO. It comes out October 27th. It's free to all subscribers because the game's free. Like, they didn't show any like gameplay, but they showed a cinematic trailer and that looked good. But I don't care because I dropped that MMO like a bad habit.
Yeah,
it wasn't
I
good
have
enough.
plenty of free-to-play bad MMOs on my plate. I don't need
it wasn't good enough to be a single-player game. It wasn't good enough to be an MMO. It was just kind of in the stasis of just like bland.
If they had beefed up your abilities as a character, I mean, we don't have to talk about this too. If they beefed up what you could do alone, it would have been really good. It would have benefited a lot from being able to play it by yourself.
Yeah.
Which I get is not what an MMO is for, but.
Then they walked out this new guy with a new IP called Unravel. He's got a 14-man team in Sweden, and he was shaking like.
Dude was so nervous.
So super nervous.
I mean, I get it. I'm not crazy.
Yeah,
no.
I would have just cried probably.
Donnie, did you see Unravel?
I saw bits and pieces. I actually caught
it.
It
is so gorgeous. Like I wish his team the best. It's awesome looking. It's visually appealing in every way. It's a puzzle platformer where you're this little doll called Yarny, where you use yarn to like move across the environment and avoid danger and run away from birds and angry gerbils. It looked awesome. Then they also showed Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2. They showed off the new melee class, which then they immediately showed 2 of his ranged attacks with him, which I thought was really weird. Because they really like made it like, this is our new melee class. Like, we don't have a lot of those. And then he had just like lasers that he was shooting. They announced solo play, which was big for them because that was one of the biggest feedbacks they got from the first game, was people wanted to be able to play offline and solo play. So they added solo play. They added co-op split screen against bots, so you could sit on the couch with your friend and also play. And from launch, you can transfer your unlocked characters from Garden Warfare 1 to Garden Warfare 2. So that's
I
really
was more interested in this when it was Guild Wars.
Garden War. Did you play Garden Warfare?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah,
I was just being
love
sassy.
it.
I want to play as my necromancer. Is that so wrong?
Then they went into they knocked out 2 sports quick right off the bat. They did NHL 16 and then NBA. They brought a guy out and took a picture of his face and put it in the game, and apparently the faces work better this time.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Then they showed Minions Paradise, which one person on this show is really excited for.
Kyle.
I thought it was Donnie. I thought Donnie was really excited for
No, it's you. You're
because Donnie was talking about it.
What, Minions?
Yeah.
I just kept talking about how we're not going to talk a lot about it. It doesn't look bad. It just
looks like
it
a
is
game.
what it is.
Yeah, it just looks like a mini like party game-esque, like just like there's little mini games all on this island, and you build stuff and make Despicable Me minions like do stuff.
Yep.
Then they brought out FIFA and they brought out Pele, and he said American football is not a beautiful game.
I can't wait till
Then
he's gonna get it.
Then they talked about the all-new defensive options and agility options in the game. The no-touch dribbling, which is mocapped by Messi. That was huge for me. That offers so much more mobility, like, on the field.
Can I just say that no-touch dribbling is probably the grossest sentence ever?
Yeah, it's pretty weird sounding. But if you know what I'm talking about, no-touch dribbling is really important in soccer, and I'm really glad they're bringing that. They're also bringing in FIFA Trainer, which... not many people know this, but
it teaches you to be a professional soccer player.
Me and CJ had a kind of game that we played.
That game was rigged.
Which I whomped him in.
Whomped is probably strong.
It was 3-0.
It was 3-1. Oh, well, it should have been 3-1. I got robbed.
3-0. And
and it should have been 2. That's bullshit. That penalty kick was bullshit.
So 3-0. So now CJ will be able to play FIFA Trainer, which is a new tutorial mode that while you're playing the actual game, like instead of it being like a tutorial where they're like, this is how you kick the ball. What happens is there's buttons above your characters when they get the ball showing you like what you should be doing in that situation. It's not forcing you to do it, but it's telling you like, hey, like if you did this, like it would work out better for you.
So what does it do when I block your penalty kick and then the ball just sits in front of me while
I don't know. I didn't see
cradling on the ground?
I didn't see that in the thing. They're also going to be announcing more news throughout the summer. I'm really excited for this game. I like all the changes they're making. Also, everybody already knew the females are in the game too now, so that's awesome. Then they showed Mirror's Edge Catalyst. To me, it looked exactly like Mirror's Edge 1, which I don't have a problem with, but changed a lot. But then they said that there's no levels, there's no loading screens. It's a completely free, open, roaming city. So that's huge. That means there's multiple paths around like everything, and I like that a lot.
I wish we were still talking about FIFA.
I do too. And that comes out February 23rd next year. What did you think about? Did you see Mirror's Edge at all? Either of you?
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I liked
and...
Mirror's Edge 1. It definitely... There were some parts where it was very disorienting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did see HoloLens, Akuma Bomb. But, don't you worry.
I mean, I'll try it out. I'll try everything. You're a bad influence on me, so, like, yeah, of course I'll buy it for too much money. Never play it.
It looks very pretty.
So I'm going to let...
I didn't not suspect.
I'm going to let From CJ take the lead on this next piece of news. Because he knows more about what all these things mean than I do.
I thought you were going to say Ubisoft, and I was like, gross.
No.
Just chug. Okay, so next up was Madden, which was, first of all, super weird that they did FIFA, NHL, Mirror's Edge, back to Madden.
And Despicable Me.
Did they shove Despicable Me in with that?
It went NHL.
NHL, NBA,
Minions, and then
so weird, super weird. They were like, we don't have all our sports stuff. Put someone else out there. So they showed Madden clips. They showed a bunch of gameplay. First of all, you're really in control of like your receivers this year. That's their big focus, is how the receivers play and how you, not just on offense, but how you cover the receivers as well. It's been a problem for 20 years or so where you throw the ball in this game and the defender immediately knows where it's going and you just get wrecked. It makes throwing it not worth it, so it looks like they're trying to fix it. As far as the franchise stuff goes, they showed some like draft stuff. You have your own personal like draft war room. There's multi-rounds. You can play online with other draft people. It kind of looked like Hearthstone.
Yeah.
It was a little weird.
It was like reading this, I'm just like, wait, what?
So
it looked awesome.
What happens is you go into the draft, like a fantasy football draft, and like 3 players pop up on the screen, and you have to pick which one from those 3. And
It's
then,
weird.
And then it keeps cycling, like it's like the Hearthstone draft where you pick your cards, like it keeps cycling.
You gotta
And
fill out
then-
all your positions.
Yeah, you fill out all your positions, and then you start playing games with them. Now you can either sim
Interesting.
the games, or you can play them, and you can either play them online or offline.
It's basically Ultimate Team, but like with a draft, basically.
Yeah,
Like it's not replacing Ultimate Team, but that's the idea.
yeah. It sounds cool.
As far as maybe it's like Hearthstone Brawl where you get a new one every week. I don't know. They didn't really specify whether or not this
Yep.
was like a one-time draft or.
Yeah, we'll know more
with
definitely
leagues.
in the coming days.
Yeah. They also added 3 new catch types. One of them, I guarantee, is the like over the head single hand like catch that was.
One of them was like
famous.
I want to say it was like action where it was like you're leaping to like make the big catches while the ball's still like way in the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of them was like basically like not you're diving for the ball, but like the ball's thrown low, so you're basically like falling on top of it.
Yeah. You
just
got to
to
scoop it.
just to guarantee like yardage.
One of them I guarantee is when the quarterback throws the ball and the defensive guy shoves the other player out of the way and intercepts it for a Super Bowl victory. Go Patriots! August 25th.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll pick it up again. Star Wars Battlefront. 8-player to 40-player game modes, so 40 players, really nice. It's not as big as I want it to be, but that's a good size. They showed Star Wars missions against bots with a friend or 1v1 battles, so that's cool. So that's kind of like a single-player-esque thing, but not really. Everything they showed was PS4 footage, and it looked incredible. They showed weird space grenades. I don't know if you guys saw this, but like the guy threw a grenade, and I was like, "The hell!" Like Star Wars grenade, and like it exploded, but then like it imploded again, and it was just weird.
I saw that kind of.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of the Darth Vader stuff, which looked really cool.
Yep. Then they showed Luke and Darth like hit the lightsabers together and like kiss, and then
Throwing out.
Yeah,
fade
and
to
you
black.
you can reflect bullets now with your lightsabers like fluidly.
Yep.
Pretty nice.
AT-ATs, they did show that they are controllable to an extent. They didn't show like if you just like spawn inside the AT-AT and like just shoot shit with it.
Excuse me, it's pronounced AT-AT.
Yeah, it's AT-AT.
Thank you.
But it looks really pretty. November 17th, and we'll get our hands on it when it comes out. That's EA.
And we'll find out if you can play as a Gungan.
I thought EA did pretty good.
Yeah, better than I thought it would be. Didn't mess it
They
up.
didn't show Skate 4, which I was surprised because I assumed they were going to.
Well, you were the only one.
Yeah.
Maybe Gamescom.
Yeah.
Still got hope.
Yeah. Okay.
Who wants to take Ubisoft?
Donnie, you can do Ubisoft.
Okay. I'll do my best. I missed this one.
I really want Donnie to say the name of.
Yeah, that's why I said that. That's why I made Donnie do it.
South
Donnie, you can
Park
just do the
Fractured
first part.
Butthole. I just got it.
You said fractured butthole.
I didn't get that. It's now available to pre-order. It's superheroes now and continues Stick of Truth, which interests me. I actually didn't hear this was announced, and I enjoyed Stick of Truth for what it was. I
Play it as I don't even like saying their names. But it's like the Coon and the Question and like all their little superhero alter egos.
Oh, that's really cool.
Berry Crunch.
Because I rented Stick of Truth from Redbox and beat it like in a weekend and everything. I was like, this was fun.
That's basically the Stick of Truth review right there.
So Matt and Trey came out and they were just super angry about their mics. They were not happy about the mics that they had. They said they looked stupid. Then Aisha Taylor called them out and was just like, "You said you weren't doing another one, like, and you're here." And they were like, "Well, we're whiny babies." And towards the end of Stick of Truth, we kind of learned how to make a video game, so we were like, "Well, we might as well do another one." So I'm excited for it. I like the Stick of Truth. I just hope this game has more replayability than the other one for how short it was.
Yep.
Stick of Truth, the most replayability was how you could like customize your people's level like moves, and that's it.
All I wanted for replayability was everything I collected from the first game allow me to do like a new game plus.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to collect all like the Chim Pokemon and everything. But the fact that I had to do all of it again, I was just like, nah.
Once I found out I couldn't once you miss something, you miss something. I was pretty much done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After South Park Stick of Truth, they announced For Honor, which is a chivalry-like game. The game, not the attitude. They have like a screen button, which
Well,
is
it
weird.
sounded well. Chivalry has a scream button, and that's the best.
Yeah.
That's the best button in the game.
Oh,
It is.
It's the most important.
God, I hate it.
Uh,
There's
and
three
it-
sides.
and it sounds like this one does too.
Yeah, there's three sides. Massive battles. They'll use AI bots to fill up like empty players. It looked like war. Like
No, not. That's another one. Not empty players, just empty.
That's
like,
what I mean. Like
yeah.
empty. Like where okay, we don't have a player for this. Like
Yeah.
blurp. Even if they're at their max amount of players and need more, like and that's going to be on consoles, which is cool because there's been no Chivalry style game on the consoles.
Yeah. What's up,
Yeah.
joystick?
What's up, joystick?
Uh,
After that, they announced the Crew Wild Run, which is the first expansion pack for the Crew. That comes out November 17th. It's a complete graphical overhaul for the game, including new vehicles. So
and motorcycles.
yeah, I'll probably pick it up. I was going to pick it up before, and they talked me out of it. Somehow they managed to talk me out of their own game. But like, I'll probably get it. Let's be real. What driving game haven't I purchased at this point?
Yeah.
It's true.
Speaking of driving games, Trials Fusion announced that they're doing the Awesome Level Max Expansion Pack. That's coming out July 14th. Looks pretty trially. Looks like Trials.
It looks
Yeah.
just silly.
I'm
Yeah.
reading the cat
It
riding,
looks- it looks-
fire-breathing unicorn. It was like,
Yep.
yeah, that sounds like Trials.
It looks super hard.
Yeah.
Which is very Trials. It looks super goofy, which is just Trials. So yeah, I probably won't get it. I'm not crazy about Trials, but it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. So they moved on to talk about The Division, which looks fantastic. They said they're going to do a beta early next year, and they announced March 8th, 2016, across all platforms.
We
Which
have
is
a date. It's been 3
Finally.
years at every
Yeah.
E3. We finally have a date. The beta for Xbox One is this year in December, and then a beta for everybody early next year. I just want to see if this game is going to be worth my time. I want it to be so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it's awesome, but I'm really worried that it's just
Ubisoft.
Watch Dogs.
Yeah, that's what everyone is saying, that they're afraid it's going to be like
Yep.
Watch Dogs.
It's
All
probably-
hype,
it's probably
and then
just gonna
not
be
exactly
Watch
what
Dogs.
it's supposed to be.
We'll see. Blah.
My friend who tested Watch Dogs. and he
Anno 2025 was announced. It's basically Anno in space. I don't know if you guys have played it. Have you guys played any of the Anno games?
No. I know what they are, but I have not played them.
So yeah, they're basically like The Sims, but guided, directed. They're a lot of fun. Anno 1440 and Anno 2250 are the other ones. So this is like kind of not in between, but
Number wise, it's in between.
before. It is in between. It's not in the middle. That's what I was gonna say. But so it's before, but it's going to space, which I think is super weird because Anno 2250 is on Earth in Futury, and then 2025 is like, well, we're going to space. I feel like someone typed 3025 and they were like, that's too much.
Too far.
So yeah, they talked about Just Dance for a minute. I'm not really gonna get into it. It's Just Dance. Everyone's seen it. Dance. It's a less cool version of Beat Central or whatever by Harmonix.
If I just
Dance
do
Central.
this, it pretty much covers the news.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got it.
They talked about Rainbow Six Siege. It's gonna have Terror Hunt solo co-op where it's for you against the AI. So that's kind of cool. The beta for that drops September 24th. Still in alpha.
Yeah, then they had people play Terror Hunt, and it looked cool. Man, when the last beta I played for that game, it was really rough around the edges. So hopefully, when that September 24th beta hits, they iron some more stuff out.
They announced Trackmania Turbo, which is just another Trackmania game that I'll buy and not play, even though it's really fun.
It looked really good. Like
yeah.
it looked kind of
Trackmania
cardy.
is an awesome series.
Yeah.
It all depends on the mod community though. The
Yeah.
people making the tracks and all that.
Yep.
They talked about Assassin's Creed a little bit. They showed off Ghost Recon Wildlands, which has this like crazy open world. It looks so insane.
Yeah, I need to do more research on Wildlands because it looks.
It was completely off my radar, but it looks so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that was it for Ubisoft. I don't know. What did you guys think of it?
So I'm actually.
This is my first knowing any of this stuff, so
I'm actually kind of excited for Assassin's Creed, and I know people are like, "What? Like, why?"
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Because I hate that series. Not story wise, I hate how it controls, how it plays, everything like that. But I love Cockney accents, and I love this time period. So I'm really interested in it. And when they showed the gameplay, which we'll talk about in the next press conference, of the female protagonist, something about it. Like I'm basically probably already guaranteeing I'm buying this game.
I'm excited about South Park. I'd be excited about Assassin's Creed. I'm not unexcited. I've been so disconnected from the series and need to catch back up that I haven't been excited because they've been pumping the games out quicker than I can catch up.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
tell you what
So-
you do. You go to Assassin's Creed Wikipedia. You read the plot synopsis, and then you pick which game you want to play.
I like the games and I
The games are
have the
fun.
ones to play. It's just those games are big time sinks, especially because I'm a big side mission, get all the collectibles kind of guy, and so they take me forever.
Yeah, I have 3 and 4 just sitting on my computer waiting for me to have the free time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 4. I have 3 Revelations, Brotherhood 2. None of them I've
Oh man,
fully
you haven't even
completed.
done 2?
Not fully completed.
Oh my
I've played
goodness.
some
Yeah,
of
you're
it.
way behind. You gotta
I
get on
know.
that.
But, and I know all the
That's your
plot of the
homework tonight
Ezio's.
is beat Assassin's Creed.
I know the plot of all the Ezio and like most of the Connor stuff, but they've been pumping out since Black Flag so quickly, at least in my mind, that I'm just so disconnected that I just don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So next good one. Yeah, Kyle, you take it. You were at the theater live for this.
Yes.
By at the
so-
theater live, I mean you were at a movie theater while they played this for you.
Yeah, so Sony did a thing where theaters across the country showed the E3 press conference live. You got to hang out with other people who wanted to watch Sony stuff. They gave you a code that had like free stuff on it. I got a poster and I got a couple months of PlayStation Plus. So that was cool. It was cool of them to do it. It was free. All you had to do was register and you could go and show up. There was one in every city. Every state there was one. So I went to ours, and I had a lot of fun, and I would do it again next year. And I'm glad I went this year because, man, they specifically tailored this to me. Let's start off. Sony starts off the show with Last Guardian. It's been, I think, 7 years since they first announced this game.
Oh, it's been longer.
Holy hell, this game looks gorgeous.
It's been
And they showed gameplay, which that was the big thing for me. Like, the game's real. It's not just cinematics at this point. There's actual movement going on. Please, if you don't know what Last Guardian is, do yourself a favor, and after the show, go look it up. Educate yourself, and then go play Shadow of Colossus.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, it's made by the guy who makes Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, so you already know this. It's solid.
And they said it would release in 2016. We have no date. I didn't expect there to be a date. That was way too high hopes.
Yeah, we're talking holiday 2016. Let's be real.
So next up, after they blow the lid off of The Last Guardian, they announce Horizon. Horizon is the new game from the Guerrilla Games studio, the people who make Killzone. It's post-apocalyptic. Society is back to like a primitive time, but they're using like machinery and stuff to make like primitive weapons. Like they have a bow, but there's like pieces of metal that are like attached to the bow to like make it and stuff. It looks interesting.
You saying that just made me think like, oh, we got to go to the arrow factory to get our arrows.
Yep.
Like, wait.
Then there's robot animals, like herds of these like robots in a field that like look like just nice animals having fun, and you have to go hunt them. There's also big robots that like are hunting you. It's basically you versus machine in this game is what it looks like, and you're trying to learn more about this world that died before you came. The weapon looked awesome. The bow has different arrow tips that you can change to fight different kinds of robots. It has trip lines, like you can shoot an arrow at the guy and then shoot one into the ground, and that'll like tie him up. And you can do that multiple times, so it doesn't look like a scripted thing. It looks like it actually like affects the enemy. The game looks gorgeous. It's called Horizon Zero Dawn. Comes out 2016. No date after that. CJ, you saw it. Like, you saw the trailer of it. Like, what did you think?
I'm trying to figure out a way to put it into words. I'm interested, but like I'm not. It's not grabbing me. So I'm like
Yep.
I want it to be more. So I'm keeping my eye on it. Basically,
You're intrigued, but you're not hooked.
Yeah. I want to be hooked.
That's understandable because they didn't show a lot. They just showed like a little bit of combat, and then it showed like cinematics of the overworld explaining like the origins of the story. And I like it because I like that the Killzone team is doing something else other than Killzone because they've been on Killzone since
Killzone started.
Yeah, basically. They've only made one other game besides Killzone, and they have like 7 Killzones under their belt. Then they showed Hitman. They didn't really show a lot of it. They just like revealed the new Hitman. We'll get more into that during the Square press conference.
It'll be a Hitman game. It won't be anything awful, but it won't be anything spectacular.
You might change your mind when we talk about it.
Mhm.
Then they showed Street Fighter. They announced console exclusive to PS4, which we already knew. They showed 2 new characters coming to the mix, Cammy and Birdie. Birdie is from Alpha, which now he's like a giant, like fat guy who eats donuts.
I thought you were gonna say now he's a giant bird. I was
No, Birdie looks. I'm glad that he's back, but he looks weird. The game still looks great.
I get annoyed when they announce like Cammy and Chun-Li. It's like, really? Like,
yeah.
Well,
I think we all know they're going to be there.
So they're not going to launch with the roster that 4 has. They're going to roll those characters out like as they go.
That's fine, but it's not like they're going to leave Ken out.
No, they probably won't.
Right, and they're going to announce him as like, oh, now we have Ken. It's like, come on.
So with the announcements, I think what the point of the announcements are is they're showing their new movesets because these characters have been like completely reworked. Like their moves are very different than how they are in 4. Like, so that I think that's the point of the announcements is they're showing their new moves. The first beta is exclusive to PS4, and that starts July 23rd, and that's really soon. So I'm excited for that. So that was Street Fighter. Then they did No Man's Sky, which I didn't expect to be there.
Oh.
The game still looks unreal. I still don't understand how they're gonna pull this off.
Still pretty far away.
Still looks beautiful.
They might not be. They might not be as far away as you think.
I think they're far away. They're gonna have a release date for us soon.
They showed ship battles. They showed us how to discover things like landing on planets. You have to when you discover things like yes you discovered it, but you have to report it to the server. So you have to make it to like the planet's beacon and like upload your discoveries to the server to like let people know like I discovered this.
Yeah.
There's also robot sentries guarding the planets, which
not
I haven't. Not all planets, but the one.
Not all planets.
The one he landed on did, and I thought that was really cool. So we got a little taste of combat, which was nice. And we will have a release date soon. Murray said in a different panel. So I thought No Man's Sky looked incredible. But
yeah, I'm super excited for No Man's Sky.
I just want the game to come out.
Yeah,
I was already getting a PS4, and this just cemented that.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky was the original game that was like that got me to commit to a PS4. What was it? No Man's Sky and Drive Club.
Drive Club was the game you were going to buy the system for.
I pre-ordered it with Drive Club, and then they moved Drive Club way back, and I was like, well, cancel that. So now and then Drive Club came out, and I played it. It was So now No Man's Sky is my it's my great last hope for this system. I'm sure there will be tons of other good games, but this is the shining beacon in the darkness for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Media Molecule came out, and they announced their new game, Dreams. It's very rough for me to say game because I still don't know a lot about it. It looks super trippy. You're creating your own dreamscapes, or you're editing other people's. The art style is gorgeous. The game looks great. I'm sure I'll get it, and I'm sure I'll try and figure out what the hell's going on in this world. But there's not a lot of information on it. And they even said when they showed it that it confuses a lot of people until you actually get like hands on it and you're like, oh, okay, this is what's going on. Then they showed Firewatch, which we've shown on the show before.
Still very excited for it.
Yeah, still looks great. I still like the voice acting and stuff. They didn't really show anything new on it. I was a little disappointed in that. But I'm still really excited for that game. Then we got Destiny, which I got to take like a stretch break because I'm not a huge Destiny guy. They showed the Taken King expansion. They're adding new class supers. They're adding new weapons. They're adding a bunch of new worlds to explore. They're editing old worlds so you can go to new places on those worlds. So a lot of content.
Excuse me.
I am glad that Destiny is providing all this content, and it seems to be getting better as they go. It's just not for me.
Too little, too late. I gave it a shot, and it just...
Yeah, it wasn't as big of a deal as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Look, Donnie doesn't care about it either.
Oh, Donnie's just yawn city over Destiny.
I'm all on board this train.
That-
Destiny can poop itself to death for all I care.
So steep.
Then they showed Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which we've seen in multiple press conferences before this. It still
every press conference.
It still looks pretty, but this time we got to see Evie like in battle. We got to see what like her moves are, what she brings to the table, and she is a badass. And I'm I'm probably gonna buy it now just because of her and the Cockney accents because I love a good Cockney accent.
Oh, right.
Yep. After that, World of Final Fantasy, PS4 and PS Vita exclusive in 2016. It's the entire world of Final Fantasy in this like cute little chibi world. It looked interesting. The crowd was like really like just like, yeah, that's cool. Like, thank you, Square, and they expected like them to leave and like go away, but oh, they didn't. Then the screen went like kind of green, and like the PlayStation like cross media like loading screen came up, and it was like green and like shaking, and the guy was talking, and people were like, "What the hell is he talking about?" And then boom, we just start hearing like the sounds that we're used to. We start seeing these visuals that are just triggering emotions that we can't handle, and then we get Final Fantasy VII, the remake. You're
Unreal.
drinking to this, Donnie?
Unreal.
Oh my god.
How do you kick him off the show?
How do do I have the cat?
Not disappointing. I don't care.
You got
Well, that's what the drink's for, Donnie. It's for
Yeah, the
being
drink's for-
disappointed.
But you've drank for stuff that you just don't care about. Didn't disappoint you. You're just like, yeah, whatever.
Like what?
Like, you literally Bethesda stuff. How is that disappointing? You just don't care. Like,
Listen,
No, it's disappointing that they would even waste time on it.
Final
Jesus.
Fantasy VII remake.
it disappoints me that they're wasting time on this instead of more Final Fantasy and other stuff. Like,
What? They're coming out with Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
and they're slow on it. Kingdom Hearts has been in the works for so long.
Kingdom
without a
Hearts is
release.
probably going to come out before this.
Kingdom Hearts
still-
can wait.
Don't care.
The entire internet pooped its pants.
Collectively.
Yeah.
I couldn't be happier. I have a tattoo.
So I read this thing. They said that Final Fantasy VII, the remake story, could deviate from the original, which is concerning.
So my thought on that, I did remember seeing that. My thought on that is maybe they include stuff from Crisis Core and Advent Children to kind of supplement, because there was stuff in both those things that they could
Crisis
add.
Core, the one with Vincent.
Crisis,
Maybe.
no,
That's Cerberus.
yeah, that's Cerberus.
The specific quote was, "We've announced an HD port version on the PlayStation 4, and then we have a remake coming to the PS4. You'll have this extremely, very, very pretty Final Fantasy VII existing on the same plane. We feel that if that happens, it's like, why have the same exact game?" Which answers the question I posed, which was why bother doing this? Like, why bother releasing the remastered one if you're going to remake it also?
Yeah.
So if it's, okay, let's mix it up, then cool.
Well, because
Awesome.
they're gonna play very.
Find every way to milk that money, dog.
There's no way that the Final Fantasy VII remake is gonna play like the original Final Fantasy. It just wouldn't make sense. Like the way the world map works, like just that alone, it's gonna be a very different
keep saying
game.
that. I don't understand why you think that like it wouldn't work.
With those graphics, you're gonna have a top-down, like just like climbing the ladder. Like it's just gonna
Maybe.
it's gonna look bad.
You don't know that.
I mean, I feel
You're
like
not there. You're not in the shit.
So, Sony has started off with Last Guardian, and they just announced Final Fantasy VII. Everyone was like, "This is the best press conference like of all time." Then the lights dimmed a little bit, and then boom, Shenmue 3. Who the fuck saw Shenmue 3 coming?
This couldn't have been more out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I thought Final Fantasy VII was out of nowhere, and then they did this.
Someone in the theater I was in, before we all stood up and lost our mind, just screamed, "What the fuck is up with this press conference?"
I won't deny the Sony press conference is on tilt. It's like crazy.
They announced the Kickstarter. They did a countdown to when the Kickstarter went live. In 3 hours, it was already at $1 million.
Hit.
Yeah.
In 3 hours, it hit $1 million. In 9 hours, it hit the funding goal. And so now it's just the sky's the limit on it.
So Shenmue 2 cost $45 million to make. And Sony announced the reason this one's only $2 million is because they are helping with funding.
Yep.
So I'm so hype on this. I could be more hype.
I'm debating on dropping 120 on the.
I was same.
Yeah,
same.
that was the model I looked at, and I was like, So life isn't real. Like I'm stuck in Media Molecule's dream game. Like everything right now is just a joke. Like I don't know what to do with myself. I'm sitting in the theater. Like I don't care. Like they could do nothing for the rest of my life. I'm good. But then they showed Batman. So they followed up Shenmue 3 with Batman, which comes out next week. And they showed the exclusive Scarecrow missions, just like Arkham Asylum had for PlayStation.
Yeah.
People were still kind of like 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 over Shenmue 3 and Final
Yeah,
Fantasy. So
Yeah, this was
good
definitely
time to squeeze this in.
they put this on purpose to be like, okay, we need to now calm people down. Just
Those exclusive missions are like the worst to me because they have nothing to do with the story. They take you out of the story.
they were they're so good though. The Scarecrow ones were awesome.
I didn't play any of them.
Oh, they were wicked
They don't
good.
do it for me.
They were really good. They really the
Now,
Scarecrow missions.
the DLC they've announced for this one with like the Batgirl stuff where it's like its own story. That sounds awesome. It's the little I don't even know what they're called. The like you have to kill this many guys and you got to kill that many guys. Like it just doesn't do it for me.
See, like the Scarecrow ones do it for me because to me, I feel like the Scarecrow ones are like the game's done. Now the team has this world that they've created, and now they can just do whatever like the hell they want and just have fun with it. And just like they can have like a bridge turn into like a dinosaur because like oh the Scarecrow did it. Like
So were the Scarecrow ones were they still like story missions or was it like in the first like couple
in Arkham Asylum?
Arkham Asylum and I think Arkham City it was like they were just like arenas.
They were like arenas, but like so like how it would work would like the Scarecrow would like knock you with his gas, and then you just went into this hallucination like just rampage. And they were awesome. Like the Scarecrow would be like Godzilla sized and like trying to like and shit as like the world is just melting around you.
They visually looked really cool.
Yeah,
they were definitely messed with you.
To me,
I want to real quick make a correction actually to something earlier. Sorry to interrupt everyone. Anno is Anno 2205, not 2025.
Oh, it is 2205.
Yep.
Okay.
So I just want to make that correction real quick. I just saw that.
That changed
and the other one was Anno 2070. So we are continuing to move forward. Everything makes sense.
Okay. So yeah, to me the Scarecrow missions are the team having fun and just like letting loose, like just like look at all the like stuff we can do.
I think all that's cool. It's just the actual gameplay itself is like the nah.
Next they showed they calmed it down even more where they showed their TV service Voo. It's the first ever TV provider to offer a la carte channel, which means you can buy channels like specifically like I only want to watch Stars. So you can buy Stars and be like, boop, that's the only channel I have. It's in very limited areas right now. They did announce
it's
LA
in LA, Chicago.
Yeah, the two they
Dallas,
announced at the E3 were LA and I think San Francisco.
Okay.
But hopefully it comes like further out because that sounds awesome. I like the idea. I like this model, and I hope more things like take over.
I do like that model too.
So after Voo, they were like, "Well, we need to have another big surprise," so they brought Black Ops out on stage. Why is this a big surprise? Call of Duty has been in Microsoft's pocket since Call of Duty 4 or Modern Warfare 2 came out.
Yeah.
Everything has been exclusive early on Microsoft since that game. And now it's a big deal because Activision's switching sides. So that's really big to that community because they've been loyal to Xbox for so long because they get this stuff first. They get it like sooner. And now they flip-flop.
It's basically been an Xbox game.
Yeah, it's basically been an Xbox game. And now they flip-flop. So that's really interesting to me that like they just jump ship like that.
When I read the notes and saw Black Ops, I was like, "Is this a different Black Ops?" I'm not.
Yeah,
different.
I mean, like we said last week when I said like what I expected 100% from Microsoft, Black Ops was in that with them announcing like early content. But nope, Sony gets all of that. Then they did show the multiplayer, and I'm okay with the multiplayer and how it looks. It looks like Titanfall without mechs, but you're still running on walls. Like it's super fast. They showed some new abilities that looked kind of cool. Like a guy jumped at a wall and then like. A guy went to shoot him, but the guy disappeared and then appeared right behind the guy and like shot him in the back of the head. So there's some weird stuff going on in the game. I think it looks good. Hopefully we'll see more coming up. After that, they needed to calm everybody down again, so they showed a sizzle reel with the montage for Vita. This was the only Vita showing that they did. They didn't talk about any of these games. It was just a montage.
They were like,
titles.
They're here.
They're like, remember Vita? Someone might.
Then they went into Star Wars mode, where they showed off some solo missions for the game. Then they had Disney Infinity come out, and they talked about an exclusive starter pack with figures that are coming out a month before anywhere else on Sony first. They showed the Boba Fett figure, so that was neat for people who like Disney Infinity. Then they showed more on Star Wars. They talked a little bit about that. And they ended the conference with Uncharted. And the big thing to me with Uncharted was the vehicles could be driven. So the whole time we're watching this trailer, they don't mention it in the trailer at all. And you don't get any feel that you're actually participating. The whole time I'm watching this car drive through these marketplaces while Sully and Nate banter back and forth to each other, I'm just thinking, like, this looks visually amazing, but it looks also kind of like I'm not doing anything. I'm just looking at the screen. Like, this is a movie section of the game. I'm okay with that, but I'd like there to be, like, maybe I have to aim my gun at something. It wasn't until the post E3 show that they actually said that whole thing, you're actually controlling the vehicle, and you decide which paths you go down, and that changes how that whole scene plays out. You always get to the same end point, but the trip you take down, like, it's going to change, like, depending on how you play it. So I thought that was really cool.
I like that.
And that came after they had a hiccup with the game. Like, I have to mention that when they first booted up the demo, Sully ran off, and Nate was just frozen there. Like, he was just, like, shimmying back and forth. They couldn't control him, so they had to reset the demo and start it over. That was Sony.
I like that a lot. You gotta have one of those every year, so.
Yeah, I was okay with it. Yeah, Biohazard, I did like how they screwed up the demo. I thought it was funny. Everyone in the theater was laughing, and they were like, Sully, come back! Like, you're getting away.
So next up, we had Nintendo. Donnie, you want to run us through this?
We jumped.
We just did. It's
Nintendo. I was hoping we would forget about Nintendo, and then, okay, yeah, I'll run us through.
Can I drink through the whole thing?
Yeah,
you can. In my honor. So, Nintendo starts off strong. They showed Muppets. They, like, brought up the crowd. Like, everyone's like, oh, cool, this is interesting. And then they start off with the new Star Fox for Wii U that they've been hinting that people have been asking for. It's called Star Fox Zero. It looked great. It has gyro controls, so you can use, like, the Wii U as a gyro. It uses the second screen really well, almost like a cockpit.
Yep.
And they showed the gameplay. It looked visually rad. It looked fun. The ship can transform into a walker sometimes on the fly.
That looked like when they first showed the animation, I was like, I'm buying this game. Like, this is 100% purchased.
Yeah.
Like, Nintendo started out strong, and it was just like, oh man, Star Fox Zero. Like, everyone's been pumping. People would probably buy a Wii U for this. We haven't had a Star Fox game for the console since GameCube, and those ones were letdowns.
Donnie, you are frozen. So
Donnie.
I'm going into
Are
cat
you
mode.
serious?
Yeah.
Yeah. You went full cat.
Dang, bruh.
Okay.
Anyway, and then they took all that momentum, and they just moved on to talking about Skylanders. It's Skylanders Supercharged, correct? That's the name of it?
Superchargers.
Yeah.
Superchargers.
Get it right.
Which I didn't know they were doing a new one because didn't Trap Force just come out?
They do a new one every year, Donnie.
Yeah, Trap Force came out last year.
Oh yeah, I forget.
Skylanders is the Assassin's Creed of collectible toys to life.
Oh, you're back now.
Yeah, I forget Activision do that. And the big thing was
what's up, Big Z Money? I love this guy.
Oh, Big Z Money's on. Awesome.
Yeah.
I was waiting for him. But they came out with amiibos that are also Skylanders, and it was a Donkey Kong, and it's a Turbo Donkey Kong and Hammer Slam Bowser. They come with vehicles, and the bases can switch between them being Skylanders and amiibo.
I agree with
CJ on how that's. I agree with CJ on it being disappointing though, because when we initially heard the amiibos and Skylanders thing, I thought I could use my past amiibos, and CJ and I have been talking about we want our amiibos to be more use in these games.
I agree.
And so I think those amiibos they showed are cool, and I'll probably get them because they look cool. But
Yeah, I like the concept of the base though, being able to like it's like a twist. It goes from Skylander to amiibo mode.
What a twist!
Next, Nintendo decided that since people are wondering where the games for the Wii U are and everything, that they would just show a slew of 3DS games instead.
Oh, they showed a lot of 3DS
because you know that 3DS needs help being selling. Like, people aren't going to buy these games unless they show them. If you can't hear my sarcasm, then I don't know what to do to help you. So they showed off a new Zelda for the 3DS because they already said they weren't showing Zelda for the Wii U. So it was Zelda Triforce Heroes. It's a multiplayer handheld Zelda. It's 3-player. It's got a totem mechanic where you have to carry your buddies, bring them up on different levels to solve the puzzles.
Yeah, you have to work together as a team.
Yeah, which I find interesting as someone who's done 4 Swords with friends and everything. It's like, oh, that's cool. I like that. And they still will allow single player. You just have dolls you switch behind and switch between, but they're not AI. They're dolls that you literally start.
Yeah. So, what I saw, like, it looked really, like, it looked cool. And maybe I'm just so far away from, like, the 3DS scene that, to me, like, multiplayer games on the 3DS, like, I'm just, like, I don't know, like, I don't care, but I don't know. It's something weird about, there's something weird about multiplayer games on the 3DS to me. But
I've done a lot of multiplayer on the 3DS, so I'm completely fine with it.
okay, like again, it could be just I don't spend enough time on the handheld.
Like I don't as much now, but when I first got my 3DS and for the first few years, like that was what I did in college. It was very easy because everyone would always have their 3DSs on them, and we would just be like, "Oh, we all have this game." Oh, to quickly address Big Z Money saying Nintendo fucked up by not showing Zelda Wii U, I agree they did bad. I don't think that was the main issue. I do agree with some people who felt like they were showing all this stuff to stall because they couldn't show Wii U, but I'm fine with them not showing it if it's not ready to be shown. Yeah. They're still working on it. I want them to show it when they're comfortable and not show it because they have to and then have it be a huge letdown.
Okay. Well, my other thing with Zelda Triforce Heroes is that, yes, when you're playing single player, the other two characters are stationary dolls until you control them. From what I saw, from the multiplayer experience at least, some of those bosses and puzzles, I feel like if you don't have all the characters moving, like, you're not gonna do well at all. Like, some of the stuff they showed seemed like really like it was cool because it was like friends working together.
Yeah.
But you needed multiple pieces moving at the same time to pull off some of these things. So I don't know how that's gonna work with single player where you can only control one thing at a time.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't end up that the single player is just not as fun.
Yeah, that was my biggest worry once they said they were stationary dolls and not AI.
But yeah, that's coming out fall 2015. To keep with the Zelda hype, but not the actual Zelda hype, 3DS is getting Hyrule Warriors Legends, so they're getting their own reimagining of Hyrule Warriors with all the DLC characters and new Wind Waker characters in the first quarter of 2016.
Can they at least wait like a year before doing the same thing again?
Yeah, that's why I'm drinking to that too, because it's like Hyrule Warriors. I'm
out of beer, so I can't drink anymore. But I'm drinking
Hyrule Warriors. I enjoyed it for what it was. I knew it was just Dynasty Warriors or Zelda, and it was interesting. It was cool. But it's like, again, we don't need a 3DS version of this.
Aerodynamic Chicken says 2008 says hi.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
I'm with them.
That's moving on. They showed a new Metroid for the 3DS.
I just want to chug this whole thing now.
Called Metroid Prime Federation Force, which you think would be cool, but they're still trying to harp on like the whole Metroid Prime thing, which I feel like they should move back to a Metroidvania. They should move back to a side-scrolling Metroid. It's 4-player co-op missions. From what I saw of it and the screens I saw, it looks ugly.
It looks so ugly. Yep. This game looks like hot trash.
It doesn't look like... It doesn't...
I don't know how
looks like it looks like early DS. It does not look like 3DS.
How is this even related to... Like, nothing looks like Metroid related either.
Yeah.
Like, it just looks like, oh, we have Space Marines, Metroid.
Not only does this not look like a 3DS game, this is for the new 3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
man,
it's even worse than we thought.
But yeah, 4-player co-op missions. You got Metroid Prime Blast Ball, which... What is that?
That was the 3v3 battles. They didn't really explain it. So all these trailers, by the way, too, when they showed them, they didn't talk about them. They just rapid fire, like, here's a trailer, here's a trailer, here's a trailer. Yeah. There was no in-between, like, let's talk about the game, like normal press conferences do.
Then they moved on to Fire Emblem Fates, which a lot of people are excited for. I'm not against Fire Emblem.
I'm not going to drink to this one.
I'm not either, because Fire Emblem was good, and I'm not disappointed by any of the 3DS games. I'm just disappointed that they showed more 3DS and Wii U. That's the whole disappointed thing I'm at.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 3DS. It's coming out 2016. It's Fire Emblem. It looks nice. That's about it. Then a new Atlas game, but this is actually a Wii U game, I believe.
This was a Wii U game?
I think so.
I didn't know. Because again, they don't talk about it.
They have no information. It looks very interesting. It's a fan service anime game, but we know really nothing about it.
Yeah, except that it's 2016 and not this year.
Yep. Then they talked more about Xenoblade Chronicles X, which, not disappointing. The game looks good. It's a little disappointing because didn't they talk about it last year? And like, this isn't the first time.
So they talked about it last year. They didn't talk about it this year. They just showed the trailer.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything, and we got a release
date. But
this
isn't like new. This isn't like a new release.
No.
Like,
we didn't learn anything about it. It was just, by the way, we're still working on this.
December 5th, 2015. Still looks good.
Yeah, I'm
But
gonna
it's
I'm
just
gonna
like-
buy it.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, Nintendo, yeah, we know about this. Then there was Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, which I'm not sure I know what this is.
It's
I was watching this through a live blog, and they didn't
I
always.
I know a lot about this game because this is another game that they showed last year, and
Uh.
my girlfriend really likes the Animal Crossing series.
Oh, I do too.
This game, however, she will not be purchasing. She does not think this game looks good at all. This game is you play Animal Crossing, but you don't do any of the Animal Crossing things. All you do is the interior decorating,
Oh,
which, as she puts it, is the worst part of Animal Crossing for her.
Yep. I would agree.
So she wants nothing to do with this game. This is just making houses fancy for the people in Animal Crossing.
Oh, going back, aerodynamic. That was what the Atlas game was, because my friend's super hyped about that. The Shin Megami Tensei, whatever, Cross Fire Emblem, and my friend.
Oh,
I've seen
that makes sense. What he's saying, because when they showed the trailer, the only thing in the trailer that was English was the letters FE. So that's why That's why in the notes I don't have what the game's actually called, because everything else was in Japanese. That's how little Nintendo put into this press conference.
And because I knew that game for the Wii U, and there was a trailer for it, I didn't know it was this game, because I knew because my friend.
That makes sense though.
My friend's been sharing an article about it that said it looks like a hot JRPG mess, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But,
I didn't say that game looked bad. I had no info, and the title was all in Japanese.
Yeah. Continuing on, there's the Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. I think is it actually called that?
Yep, that's the name.
It's an Animal Crossing. Basically, it's a digital board game. It looks interesting. Have no idea how it plays. But they're having new amiibos come out with that too.
Yeah,
it looks cool. It looks like something I would rent, maybe just to try. I wouldn't pre-order or throw down stuff on it right away. I like digital board games, but I don't know. Then they moved on to showing more of Yoshi's Woolly World, which is great. It looks incredible. It's beautiful. The amiibos turn your Yoshi into a yarn version of that character.
Yeah, so what they did was
colored like it.
So what they did was they put the Mario amiibo on Yoshi's Woolly World, and that made him look like Mario. It made Yoshi have the Mario hat and suspenders and stuff. So that was kind of neat. I like that they did that. That gives amiibos another function. How many amiibos this actually works with is another question that they didn't answer. So we'll see how many amiibos. Can I put Zero Suit Samus on the board and Yoshi gets this skin tight suit?
That's why would you even bring that up?
But basically, it looks great. But we saw stuff for it last year, so
yeah.
Again, it's just okay, this is nothing new. I know it's coming up more, but they spent a lot of time talking about this too, more than a few of the others. They actually talked about it.
They did give us some new things, the transformation stuff was new. So that's nice. But yeah, again, they spent a lot of time on this when there were titles that we didn't know about that they could have done that with.
Yeah. Then another 3DS title, which is Yokai Watch, which is big in Japan apparently. It's a weird little collect ghost monsters or something and befriend them with I don't know.
Monsters that one could fit in their pockets?
It looked a little different than Pokemon, but the core behind it of collecting monsters is...
Well, you put them in your watch, so they're kind of like monsters that are more digital.
So it comes out holiday 2015. It looks really weird, but it looks intriguing. But that's fine. Then they continue to another RPG, which is a new for 3DS.
I'm drinking on this one.
It's Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, and it seems like a cross between 3D Mario and Paper Mario, and it's all mashed together. But it looks I'm intrigued. I want to know more. I want to know gameplay. They didn't really show much.
It looks interesting, but it looks like they took Mario and Luigi's inside story, Mario and Luigi, Bowser's inside story.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, that's a cool game. Kids like that. It's popular. It's an RPG.
I forgot about that game.
And then they took Paper Mario, and they're like, oh, Paper Mario is a popular RPG in our system, too. And they, held the two in both hands, and they just went, blat. And then they're like, oh, that's a game.
Did it.
Yeah. Then they were like, oh, you wanted Wii U games? We'll give you a fresh, hot new Wii U game you weren't expecting. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. It's I have nothing against the Mario Tennis games. And I like the Mario sports
Mario Tennis
games.
is fun, but
It's fun, but this isn't a big blow me away. Like, oh my goodness, I can't wait for the next installment. It's
Especially
like, oh,
when you don't talk about it. I think that's the biggest thing to take away from Nintendo. Is this press conference was 45 minutes. It was the shortest of all the press conferences, and they talked about, like, I really want to say honestly, they talked about 3 games. They talked about Yoshi's Woolly World, Skylanders, and the next
Mario
game
Maker?
Star
the
Fox.
next game we're going to talk about. No, they
And
didn't.
Star
They,
Fox.
they didn't talk about Star Fox.
Really? I thought they
I
had
don't
Star
think-
Fox Muppets.
No, they showed it, and that was it. Like,
Yeah, I could be wrong. So maybe it's 4 games they talked about. But they showed a ton of games that they were just like, trailer, move on, trailer, move on.
And then finally, they decided that we haven't heard enough about it. They decided to spend 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes on Mario Maker. More stuff about how big of a deal Mario Maker is. And don't get me wrong, Mario Maker looks cool. It looks interesting. I want them to give me a price point so I know if I'm going to get it or not. But
Oh, I can give you I know the price point. I can give you that.
Did they actually release it?
Yeah, I have the price point for you if you want.
What is it?
It's $59.99.
Yeah, I'm not getting it.
Yeah, neither am I. So,
Unless it comes bundled with an amiibo.
So, I watched the Nintendo World Championships. We talked about that on the show last week. I thought they did a great job with that. Of all this, like the shit we're talking about Nintendo right now, I thought they nailed the World Championships. The event looked fun. People had a really good time. The commentating was awesome. Kevin Pereira did a really good job hosting, and I don't say that lightly because I've never been a big fan of his. I thought they did a great job. Reggie came out. They had a show match in Smash. He got walloped, but they still had fun with it. And they ended with Mario Maker. And what they did with Mario Maker was they had people who make like Kaizo Mario ROM hacks, make levels for these 2 people to like compete on. And those levels were bonkers. They were just insane, and that got me to want to buy this game. Like, I was like, I will buy Mario Maker based off what I saw at the Nintendo World Champions and how fun this looked. Then I saw the price tag. It's $59.99. That is a ripoff for a title like this.
Yeah.
You're buying a game that is basically just a creation tool shell. You're relying on the community mods. This game is a $30 title. At $30, I would have bought this, no questions asked. I will not be buying this title at launch.
It was just like, it had potential, but they wouldn't stop talking about it. You can do cool stuff with it, like, oh, you put your amiibo down and you can have costumes, and Mario will wear, like, a Wii Fit trainer costume they showed. And it's like, oh, cool, our amiibo gave amiibos functionality. I like that. I'm an amiibo collector, but don't spend 15 minutes talking about Mario Maker when you've been talking about it nonstop for a year.
Yeah.
Also on the fact that you have an hour, you only used 50 minutes in the last 10 minutes with Mario Maker.
You're breaking up a lot right now, Donnie.
It's my rage.
Okay.
And since we didn't say this comes out September 11th, 2015.
Never forget.
awkward.
Never forget.
That was the end of Nintendo.
And it was disappointing. No, it was a huge letdown. I thought they would have more.
like Big Z Money said, I feel it felt like Nintendo just said, "Fuck it, we'll just make this 45 minutes for E3. We gotta have something." And there was just like nothing. No one cared.
No fan reaction because fans were just like, again, I like the 3DS, but them showing a bunch of 3DS games, people are like, yeah, we're gonna buy them anyway. You don't need to convince us to buy 3DS games.
So
you need to show us a reason that we have a Wii U.
So we got to move along really quick because we still have 2 more press conferences to get to. But really quickly, like
The cryptic's right, but yeah, move on.
Really quickly, after the conference, all 3 of us were kind of like, "What the hell did we just watch? Like, this just ended. Like, they showed nothing for the Wii U." I went online and I started looking for Wii U releases for the next coming months. They're literally at the end of this month, the 30th, is the Legacy of K collection. So it's just a remake of an older title. So from now until September 15th, there's not a single Wii U title being launched. They pushed Woolly World back because it used to be Woolly World was August originally.
Yeah.
So they pushed that back. So from now until September 15th, there is one title that's a remake coming out for the Wii U. What are they giving fans? Like, there's nothing for this console.
Besides a bunch of indie stuff on besides indie stuff on Virtual Console, nothing.
Yeah, like that's. I was shocked. I really didn't expect that. I expected at least one game per month, and I was going to be like, oh well, they don't have a lot coming out, but nothing. Literally nothing.
Maybe they hope Splatoon will tide people over, and that Smash Bros. DLC will too.
Yeah,
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So moving on to Square. Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
Let's just switch off. Like we'll go back and
Okay.
forth.
All right.
You take Just Cause because I'll talk
Okay.
about Nier.
So they showed off some Just Cause 3 stuff. It is coming out this year, December 1st, on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. They added a wingsuit to the game. You can now, when you use your grapple gun, there's multiple grapple lines, as well as a manual retract function, so you can manually reel yourself in.
That feature looks so sick.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's going to be awesome. The
I
map
saw
is
some
going to
today.
cover 400 square miles.
It's a beefy map.
So it's always kind of weird when they use measurements like that because what does that mean in the world of a video game, like that sort of thing. But it's huge. It's going to be huge. Also, one thing that I really like was Square promised longer and stronger support for these games. Considering how long Just Cause 2 has stayed around and stuck through, it's good to see that Square is saying Just Cause 3 is going to get the same level of care and attention paid to it.
I'm gonna take a small little sip real quick.
Okay.
I like them saying that, but I wish they would have acknowledged how they should have acknowledged the multiplayer mod support for this game, because that really has kept that game and maybe even sold more copies than they would have initially sold. That mod pushes that game's sale. When that mod would go live,
Yeah.
because they ran that mod in bursts, it would only be alive for like a weekend. Game sales for that game would just shoot up when that mod went live. So I know they said that longer and stronger support for it, but I feel like they should have acknowledged that the multiplayer mod scene for that game was out of control.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
that kept that game alive.
What are you gonna say? Thanks to people for fixing our game for us.
They didn't fix. They added a mode that wasn't even there. Multiplayer wasn't a thing in Just Cause 2. They added a whole mode.
Yeah. It's one of those things how do you thank people for that?
Yeah, it just would have been nice. It would have been a nice gesture to be like, hey, you rock. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna hate on them for it, but it would have been nice. Then they announced something that I did not expect because I didn't think this game actually did that well. They announced a new Nier title. Nier is an RPG that I love on the PS3. Not a lot of people have played it. It's a really good game. Everyone should go and play it. It's coming out on...
I haven't even heard of it. You told me, I was like, Nier?
Yeah, Nier's really good, guys. Look up
I still have
Nier.
to play it, but you have it, and I've watched videos of it. It looks awesome.
This Nier is being developed by a different studio, a studio that I hold very near to my heart.
That is Bethesda.
And that is Platinum Games. And the style of combat in Nier lends itself very well to how Platinum Games does their style of combat. So I'm very interested in how they pull this off. Nier was also really good at puzzles, so I got very high hopes for this title coming from my just dream team of Platinum Games, and that's fall this year, or more info fall this year. Yeah, we don't know a date for that yet. Then Square went on to show more about Tomb Raider. We talked about Tomb Raider before. Basically, in this one, they just talked about the mocap and the realism, which it looked really good. And they did say that they're putting tombs back into Tomb Raider, which was one of the biggest complaints about the first reboot.
I remember them talking about it when back in the whole, I think it was Game Informer, when they did the whole thing, or whoever they did it with earlier in February, they were talking about they wanted to make more tombs to discover and a lot of cool discoverable stuff in the environments, which I think is cool.
So one of the
we said it earlier on Pump for this game.
Yeah, one of the biggest complaints about the reboot of Tomb Raider was that it felt more like a linear an action game than a like tomb raiding. All the tombs that you actually discovered in the game basically had a big neon sign over them, with an arrow pointing down, being like "Tomb here."
Tomb.
So it's really I want to see how they go about this. Next, they showed a bunch of mobile games. They showed Hitman Go, Hitman Sniper, and Lara Croft Go. They looked visually good, but I'm not big on mobile games, so I'm probably not going to play these. CJ, did any of those pique your interest?
Nope.
Okay.
0%.
Final Fantasy...
Hitman Go looked kind of cool, but that I'm not going to pay for it.
Yeah. Then they showed Final Fantasy 14 Heaven's Sword. I feel like this game has been released 20 times at this point.
Yeah, I feel
Heaven's Sword seems the expansion for 14 seems like it's been so far along that they just need to release it. So let's move on from that. They also so this was just a trailer. They just showed a trailer for Heaven's Sword and Dragon Quest Heroes. It's kind of like a look at the stuff we just showed.
If they would make Final Fantasy 14 free to play, like that would be awesome. That's all I'm saying.
Came out and they had Kingdom Hearts. They showed Kingdom Hearts Unchained. First off, they mentioned Kingdom Hearts. The whole crowd just went bananas.
Yeah. People have been like, it's been 20 years.
But then they didn't show 3. They showed Kingdom Hearts Unchained first. And that's a turn-based game, which it has a great art style. Donnie, if you haven't seen this, you need to look it up. Kingdom Hearts Unchained looks incredible. But, joke's on us. It's an iPhone, Android game. Like, it's a mobile title.
Yeah, the original Kingdom Hearts Unchained was.
Yeah, it was. So when they showed it, it looked like it was on a 3DS, and I was like, I'm buying this fucking game. Like, this looks hot. The art looks great.
3DS only got 365 over 2.
But I don't have an iPhone or Android device that is capable of playing it, so I'm going to miss out on this one. Maybe I'll upgrade my phone.
Yeah.
Not for this. I don't want people to be like, Kyle loves Kingdom Hearts. Like,
You just said that. You just said Kyle wants Kingdom Hearts.
I need to upgrade my phone because I have the 3S because I'm a grandpa. So I need to upgrade that.
My
Dude.
God.
Dude, I'm more grandpa. I don't even have a smartphone.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely more grandpa.
Oh, my God. How am I even on a show with you people?
Then they showed Kingdom Hearts 3, which I didn't think they were actually going to do.
No, I didn't either. I was making jokes about it.
And they announced that Tangled is going to be one of the new worlds in it. So that's cool. They showed a gameplay video. The game looks incredible. Really no new news on it.
Guys, the chat was saying that Heaven's Ward comes out Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yep. The 23rd is the release date.
I knew it was soon. I felt like
I feel like it's come out like 4 times already.
Yeah.
I just keep hearing about it. Like, coming out, coming soon, coming out, coming soon.
Then they showed more Final Fantasy VII. Well, not more. They showed the same Final Fantasy VII trailer that they showed at Sony's press conference. This time they supplemented it with more news this winter. So I'm excited that we're actually getting updates on it, and it's not like Kingdom Hearts 3 where they were like, we're not doing shit. Like,
yeah.
Thanks.
We're out.
Kingdom Hearts 3. This is the 5th E3 we've talked about it, at least.
Next, they showed again World of Final Fantasy. They talked about forming towers. This is a theme now. Like Nintendo had towers. Now Square has towers. You form towers with your little chibi characters and monsters. That's coming out 2016. So that was more games that we've already seen. Then they went into more Hitman, and they showed a lot of Hitman. That game's coming out December 8th this year. And the big thing that really got me about it is it sounds very open world-esque. Like, so the missions they said are, you go into it and the mission is huge, and some of the missions you can take, you have one chance. So if you screw up the mission and don't assassinate the dude, that mission's gone. Boop, he's still alive.
Yeah.
People can come in and ruin your mission. It sounds like there's so much that I don't know about the game that I don't want to just make assumptions based on what I saw. But it looks really interesting, and I can't wait for there to be more news on it that I can just sit and read.
Don't get me wrong what I said earlier. I enjoy the Hitman games, but whenever I play them, it's this is fun and I like this kind of game.
This seems
but I'm never
very
blown
different.
Away by it.
This seems very different from previous Hitman installments.
I'm still
Yeah,
skeptical because of my past Hitman experiences, but I'll look into it.
Then they showed a trailer for a game called Triad Wars, and I thought that game looked like butt. It didn't look good at all. It looked like what was that? True Crime. It looked like True Crime, L.A., but with Yakuza. They were jumping off of cars and doing all kinds of action stuff in the street. It didn't look that good. Then I got a game that I'm excited for, Star Ocean. I'm not really keen on the name. So the fifth game in the are we fifth? Yeah, fifth.
Yeah.
Fifth game in the Star Ocean series, Integrity and Faithlessness.
Okay.
So that's a cool title. The game looks pretty. They showed the seamless combat. It looks like they kept combat the way that I like it. So I'm good with that. 2016, also good. It means I don't have to wait too long for it. I wish they would go into more detail on the crafting system and the level up system, because Star Ocean Second Story has one of the best crafting systems and leveling systems in any RPG I've ever played. And I didn't like how they did it in Till the End of Time or Last Hope. So hopefully they go back to the way it was and make it good again. Have you either of you played any of the Star Oceans?
Nope.
Played 2.
Second Story?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Every
I liked
time every time you talk about it, I
Yeah.
think of Star Tropics, and then I realize.
Yeah, Donnie, I'm gonna let you borrow Second Story, and then you need to play it.
Oh, what's
And
it for?
It's real good.
PS1.
Yeah, you're gonna have to let me borrow one of those two.
Okay, I can let you borrow my PS3.
Oh, okay.
It's really good. There's 80 different endings, so you got time. You just
Nice.
play it. Then they showed off to Deus Ex. They talked about the new engine, the Dawn engine. This takes place 2 years after Human Revolution. You play working for an agency, but shocker, you're a double agent in the agency that you're working for. They talked about how actions you take will determine the path of how the story plays out. So that's really I know they say that, and a lot of games say that. We'll see if they pull it off, if it's actually meaningful decisions. Usually it isn't, but I hope that it is. They also showed your blades that you have coming off your hands and how you can shoot them into people's necks, and that looked really cool. I like the stealth aspects of Deus Ex, but I've never been huge on the game, so I wasn't really excited about this one. Are either of you
I've played the very first one. I didn't play the remake. I want to. I've watched people play. It looks rad. I'm just getting back into actually playing new games when they come out, so I'm still at a little disconnect with a lot of these new titles where we're being shown. It's hard for me to get excited because my mindset is, yeah, I'll play that in 7 years.
I have a tactical espionage action game, and that's called Metal Gear, so I don't have room for another one in my heart.
That was a box simulator.
But I mean, there's boxes in it. But it was announced for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, which was the running theme this year, which I really like. That they're cutting the head off the last gen, and just developing for current gen consoles. I'm really excited about that because they really need to stop doing it, because all they're doing is making poor ports to the last gen, and it just looks bad on them. So I'm glad that a lot of the titles they announced this year have all been current gen only.
It has been. This feels like, I might be wrong, the longest gen where last gen has stayed still alive. No, I'm a little wrong. PS2 into PS3.
PS2 stayed along for a while.
Because PS2 was superior.
PS2 stayed alive for PS2 died 3 years ago.
Yeah,
it was around
PS2,
for a while.
PS2 is the only one where, in my mind, it's a little.
Microsoft cuts the cord immediately.
Yeah.
They abandoned that ship right off the gate. Sony does this as a gradual, coast. There's still... See, I'm fine with games coming out only on last gen. But, if you're gonna make a game for the, current gen, you don't need to make a last gen title,
Yeah.
Make them buy a new console.
Yeah.
Be an adult about it.
Just do it.
So that was the last game they showed. Then the president came out and they announced a new studio, and they showed concept art for the game that's really nice looking. The new studio's name is called Tokyo RPG Factory, which basically sounds like Square Enix.
Yeah, I made that joke when you said it. When you were like, I thought you meant the new game was called Tokyo RPG Factory, where you played as an RPG factory. I was like,
that would have been cool.
Enix the game.
So that was Square. I thought they had a pretty good showing. Them showing Final Fantasy VII again, my hype for that, I was already still just completely drained. Sony destroyed me as far as hype goes. I couldn't get any more out.
Yeah.
The new Nier title, I loved seeing the new Nier title. I love that game. So I'm really glad that there's another one coming, because I never expected that to happen, because I didn't think that sold well enough to get a sequel. Hitman has me interested. Star Ocean has me interested. Deus Ex has me interested. So a lot of games that I wasn't hype on, but they showed stuff that at least was interesting to me.
Yeah.
So that was Square. Now we have our last press conference, and CJ, take us.
I can do this whole thing in 5 minutes.
Yeah, do it.
Miserable. So they started off building a PC to classical music. Woo. They did Day 9 came out, talked a little bit.
Day 9, before you go further, Day 9 was the only thing that kept me watching this thing from start to finish. If Day 9 was not the host of this, I would have turned it off immediately, 10 minutes into it.
Yep. Killing Floor 2 came out, talked about early access. They said they're adding new advanced score, new game modes, no more stat resets. So once again, here's a game in early access that is, basically out. Basically out. But it's still broken, so we're gonna pretend it's not out.
I like when companies say like they tell you like no more stat resets, because that's what holds a lot of people back from buying like titles or playing betas. Like they're like, I don't want to earn all this stuff and then lose it all.
Yeah, I mean you're not playing a beta, you're testing it. I don't have time for this.